All right, we are live. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Fresh Air Podcast, man. We're here with the boys. We're gonna get right into it, guys, because we, starting a bit later than we wanted.
We got you guys.
So we'll get kind of right into it. We got Charlie and Miguel in the house, man.
Welcome back, fellas.
Yeah, welcome back, guys, to the show. So obviously, there's been some pretty big changes financially. We know that we went down 25 basis points, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Also, they predict to cut more rates 2 times before the year ends.
Yep.
Which is crazy. But of course, crypto is doing well. Ethereum is doing well, as you said, Charlie and Miguel, from before. Any other updates?
Yeah. So, I mean, really, like right now, we're in what I call treasury season. So we basically have companies that are on the stock market that are converting themselves into like buying crypto assets. So we have companies like Bitmine that's buying Ethereum. Michael Saylor's company's buying Bitcoin.
Yeah, and not just a little bit as well. They're buying what, like
billions,
$25 billion at least for Bitmine is just buying Ethereum. That's like a lot of money. I think Bitcoin ETFs so far have taken in about 55 billion or a little bit more. And so like half of that money that's gone into Bitcoin ETFs over the last 1 year is being used by Bitmine right now to buy Ethereum.
And it's really, and over the last, from the last time we were here, about a month after, our last appearance on Fresh and Fit, we really started getting the Ethereum side of the company starting to buy up. That's why we've had such an impressive move on Ethereum. We've gone up somewhere between about like $1,500 to $2,000 from our last visit. So Ethereum is like really moving. It's basically within $200 to $300 of its all-time high at $4,800 right now. So, Ethereum and Bitcoin are like right there to move to like brand new all-time highs. We're really hopeful for Ethereum because once it can break $4,800, it's kind of like we're on
new all-time highs. $5,000 Ethereum. Once you get past for Bitcoin, once you get past 125,000, Ethereum past 5,500. Solana past 300. Once you get those 3 prices happening, you're going to basically get an alt season or an altcoin season move, which just means everything in crypto gets very bullish and starts to make moves. So we have treasury season happening basically over the summer until now. I was looking at the chart, and in the middle of June when we were last on the show, Ethereum was around $2,200 to $2,400. And right now it's $4,400, almost $4,500. So almost a 2x on price since the last time we were here for Ethereum. And then Bitcoin, I would have to double check, but I think this was the middle of June. And Bitcoin price was, let's see, actually that was a little bit back there on the chart. Bitcoin price was about $100,000 or $103,000, and now it's $115,000. So Bitcoin's kind of been sitting, holding price, moving a little bit, whereas Ethereum's been really rocketing. And if you look at, I can show charts and stuff a little bit later if we want, but if you look at the Ethereum to Bitcoin ratio, this has shifted the largest amount it has this entire bull market, and Bitcoin's been in a bull market ever since it broke $20,000 back in the beginning of 2023. So it's mainly been a Bitcoin bull market, but now it's shifting to Ethereum. And then what that does with the ETFs coming up here in October, where we got, what was it yesterday?
We got XRP and Dogecoin hitting ETFs. I think XRP did $37 million in its first day of trading, and we did it $17 million on Dogecoin, which is actually really, really good. That puts that puts them like top. So out of like ETFs that launched in 2025, like 710 ETFs that launched, they're both in the top 10 of like ETF launch for first days. And so like tons of volume. So everyone's buying up basically crypto ETFs right now.
So and you guys gave those benchmarks, 300 for one of the coins. I think you said 5,500 Ethereum, 125K Bitcoin, and then was it 300 Solana, if I'm not mistaken?
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and you said that once we hit those benchmarks, altcoins are going to come out. Is that because at that point it allows the alternative coins to have a kind of a stable foundation with those 3 big boys hitting those price points?
What it enters is it makes us enter a more speculative market, which generally does attract your average everyday trader, which we call retail money, right, coming into this market. And we haven't really had that this whole cycle. We've had Wall Street money coming in, and that's been holding up Bitcoin and pushing stuff up pretty good. But retail really has not been active. Why? Because most Americans are either in debt or don't have that much in savings at the moment, especially compared to where we were in 2021, right? And so it's kind of like you're missing, like the way that I explain it on my streams is that when you get a whale coming into the market, you get price going up and they splash in with their money. So when Wall Street, comes in here, then you make a good splash, price goes up, but then quickly you kind of like roll over and price just starts kind of slowly coming down because you don't have the minnows of retail in the market buying up price little by little. And so that kind of gets you these big moves, but they're not like as sustainable as they would be in 2021. So if we do get past those prices and we do start getting these ETFs, then you do get Wall Street money starting to come into Solana, Dogecoin, Ripple, Litecoin, Crow token, CRO from crypto.com is getting $6.5 billion from the Trump administration being put into it. I would say the Trump family is probably the better.
Eric Trump's really the one really behind that, but basically it's Trump's crypto arm, basically, right?
Yeah.
So they're backing Crow, but really the Trump administration's backing crypto.com because crypto.com is going to launch all their ETFs and stablecoins on crypto.com. So basically there's kind of these little mafias inside of the United States that are all choosing their side, from PayPal mafia to the Trump administration, and kind of like Ethereum, like an OG crypto money, basically. So everyone's kind of picking their seat, picking their exchanges. And that's another thing, is that we're about to have crypto.com go public in 2026. And it's all this news happened in the last kind of 3 months, where before, we were kind of like, we have the Bitcoin ETF and we have Ethereum ETF, but only the Bitcoin was being bought up. Yeah. Now we're getting all the ETFs for we just had XRP, Dogecoin, and Solana is coming up really, really soon. And
so probably between the second to third week of October, the Solana one should get approved. Most of the approvals for the ETFs will happen between October and November. And so let's say, for example, retail, we get up in speculative prices, and maybe the only retail we have in crypto is your crypto natives, guys like us who've been around for a few cycles, or people who bought the lows in 23 and 24. If those people are the only ones in the market, then what you're more likely to get is you get the ETF money coming into the coins that we mentioned, and quality coins getting bought up. SUI is another US-based coin that gets a lot of Wall Street money or VC money coming into it. But other coins might not do as well during that time. They'll still go up with the market, but they might go up a little bit more slowly because we don't have a lot of money printing happening right now. But with the rate cuts, that's going to start getting people a little bit more interested. And this is part of what could happen to crypto this cycle that's different from every other cycle, is we could bleed into next year, which would make the high that we're getting here in crypto for Bitcoin specifically later in time than we've gotten the last 3-4 year cycles. And all that means is that we get a little bit of an extended time for a bull market because rate cuts are going into next year. And it's probably more likely that we get a Bitcoin all-time high sometime in Q1 or maybe early Q2 at latest next year. And since Wall Street's coming in, 4-year cycle-wise, you measure cycles low to low. You don't measure the high. And so that's one mistake that everybody is in crypto is making right now, is they're saying the 4-year cycle's dead because we're not getting the high exactly 4 years from the last one, which would be in October or November. And I think we're going to bleed in next year, mainly because of what the Fed's doing. And so that's going to throw a lot of people off because they think cycles are determined by the highs, but cycles are actually determined by their lows. So the thing that's the interesting wrinkle for next year is, let's say we go up into about February or March and we get Bitcoin, let's say $200,000 Bitcoin in February, then the bear market would be most likely shorter. You'd get the low for the bear market next Q4, so a year from now.
Same year in 2026.
Same year, 2026, Q4 2026. So between October to December next year, that's where you're most likely to get Bitcoin at its low. And wherever it gets its high, it'll most likely be a 70% drop from there. So that would be about $60,000 Bitcoin if you dropped from 200,000 at the peak. So by having a cycle high go a little bit later into early 26, that'll make the bear market shorter in time. So instead of a whole year, you might get only 6 or 9 months of price going down before Bitcoin bottoms. Wall Street buys it up heavy, and then it kind of holds that into 27. And then 27, we're back in business again. So having a shorter bear market is a little bit more the characteristic of like the S&P 500 in traditional markets. And now that Wall Street's in there, or in crypto, we're kind of taking on the personality of traditional markets a little bit more than we had in the past.
Yeah, that's why we're so like happy about interest rate cuts. I mean, honestly, the Federal Reserve should have been cutting since January. Like I understand, like right before the elections happened in 24, we had a 50 basis point cut. That's great. You know, the Federal Reserve basically gave all these bullshit answers about like, hey, we're you know, with the economy strong and everything like that. But basically, they didn't want to cut during the election. All right, whatever. Right. As soon as Trump got elected, the year ticked over. They should have started cutting in January. They didn't, and it's been pretty. I mean, it's really hard to like fight against the data, basically saying that it's not politically motivated. But Jerome Powell is basically going to not be reassigned back at the head of the Federal Reserve. He's going to basically lose his job on May 12th next year, basically. And they've said already that they're going to cut 2 more times, just like Fresh said. They may just put all 50 basis points in October 29th. Or just split them up 25 and 25 between October and then the December meeting, which is on the 10th of December.
So real quick, Miguel, let's say they do cut the rates 2 more times before the year ends.
Okay.
And we heard from sources that Bitcoin may go down either end of this year or next year. Is that going to prolong Bitcoin going down or make it go down faster, the rates being cut?
No, so the interest rate cuts are just overall positive. So cheaper access to cheaper money is always better, right? So the rates have been too high for too long. It pretty much takes the interest rates down to like 3.5% basically, with another 50 basis point cut, and it's going to help the stock market out. So these cuts are really good for the stock market. Which if the stock market goes up, it also pushes crypto up because the stock market and crypto are now pretty connected now. So stocks are literally at all-time highs. If these cuts that are happening along, if the market keeps getting the cuts they want, this will help kind of continue the bull run that's happening in stocks right now, and that'll help propel and push money from the ETFs into crypto, and then basically crypto will keep going up. But I mean, we're telling our students as well, like sometime October, November, it could be early December, we're going to get a top in Bitcoin. We're going to take some profits, and then we're going to basically see when to get back into the market in January, or maybe it's in kind of late December, basically. But like, there's going to be like an all-time high for 2025. It's going to happen sometime in the next 3 months, right? But then the big thing is like, here's like the big thing is a lot of people are going to think the cycle's over. But with all this bullish news, Jerome Powell even said there's going to be another cut in 26. This is the only thing I don't like what Jerome Powell was said, is that they said that there's going to be 1 more cut in 26 and just 1 more cut in 27, but he's not going to be in charge anymore. Trump's going to put his guy in charge, and everybody wants a cut already. So like, it's very likely by May onwards, there's going to be even more cuts. That's going to help the economy. This is really good for real estate. And I'm hoping maybe like real estate bottoms out in December of 26 or maybe middle of 27 on the residential real estate side. Just because they need, people want to refinance, and people want to basically, like, some people are just stuck in their house. They're house rich, but cash poor. And that's going to be huge for the economy, because people are going to be, if you bought a house from like 2009 to like 2019, you have equity, tons of equity.
Yeah.
But if you sell your house and buy somewhere else, it's like their payment's going to be higher unless you just buy it cash. But a lot of people, they want to like just get another 30-year mortgage, have all this extra cash, but the payment's like ridiculous. So that's what's stopping a lot of people from moving around. And some people just want to refinance and take the money out of their house. So like, that's what's going to spur along another bull run later on in 27, 28, and 29, is like the refinance boom that's going to happen in America through real estate. Because that's been one thing that we've had, like the 21 cycle ended in November, but what really started the crash was in January. The rates started going up. And we literally had, like, in 2022, the rates just exploded. So all of 22, 23, and a portion of 24, they jacked us up to like 5.5% from like zero. We went from zero rates to 5.5%. So this is why, like, we had, if you took out a 30-year mortgage in 24, it was at 7 or 8%. And that's with good credit.
7%, right?
Yeah, it's really high. Now it's come down. I think maybe Myron might know this better than me, but like, it's probably like 4 to 5% probably on a 30-year, I would imagine, right now, because rates are starting to come down. But and as it can, so it's very likely we're going to get 2 cuts in the next 3 months, and I'm guessing March is the next cut. It could be in February, but like, they don't announce the schedule until January. Yeah.
So what we'll also do, guys, is we will open up the phone lines as well, so you guys can call in and ask questions. It is Friday, you guys know it's like we got a call-in portion of the show. What's the number? Come on, guys. We'll have the number up here in a second, but sorry, go
Also,
ahead.
Charlie, Miguel,
So you guys call in.
let's say I made some profits in Ethereum. You know, your boy want to ball on a budget. What should I get into next, you think, from Ethereum games? If I should sell at all, if I should.
Right. So you mean like sell into another crypto, or just buy, or wait?
Just like, what should you do with it in general?
what
In
you do?
general, so right now, I mean, basically the safest thing to do is to buy altcoins that have ETF listings. Are going to get ETF listing. This is Avalanche. This is Solana, Cardano. Cardano's getting one. Crow token. The safest one's probably Solana, and there's also XRP as well. But like that's very divisive with a lot of people. So like so like Solana probably a lot better. You know, it's right now it's like at $230. Very likely when the ETF passes, it's going to go to like $400 up and stuff. It will take a while because you know the money has to start flowing over months. But those are like the safest coins to buy because they're smaller market cap coins, and they got the US stamp of approval. You're allowed to sell to basically retirement accounts or just like people on Robinhood basically if they want.
So, guys, the number calling to the show is 646-490-0394. If you guys want to get in, 646-490-0394, and you can go ahead and ask the panel a question. But, you know, we're focused on crypto. But, sorry, keep going, Miguel.
No. So, yeah, it's just basically the easiest strategy right now is basically to put money into coins we know are just going to get the ETF listings. So Solana is probably the next up. You could put money into Dogecoin right now. Believe it or not, it's like 23 or 28 cents right now. it's going to go to $1 over the next 6 months, you know. So there's coins there's easy flip
Charlie,
right now.
Sorry, Miguel, are you saying if I put money in Dogecoin right now, I'll make money for sure?
Yes. I mean, I mean, obviously, you can't never say 100%, but yeah. I mean, like
This cycle, it's a lock.
It's a lock.
Yeah, I would say like right now, the clearest looking coin outside of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana for an upwards move is AVAX, Avalanche. So if you look at the chart on AVAX, it really it broke out of $30 and above only a few times this market. It's doing so again right now. The reason why is because it is also getting an ETF, and a lot of Wall Street money is buying it up. And a lot of coins, if they do survive and thrive in the next market after they've gone down after a bear market, they tend to go back to certain Fibonacci levels. So there's 3 to the upside. One that AVAX already hit, which was $60. Right now it's about 33. So if you jump into AVAX right now, Bitcoin, and of course it's dependent on Bitcoin hitting a new all-time high, which is above $125,000 this year. If that happens, then AVAX is very likely to go to $60 from here. So that's a 2x on your money. You can take that one to the bank over the next 3 or 4 months. Q4 tends to be the best time for every single year in crypto. It's usually October, November are your most profitable months, which is why we're putting the Crypto Mindset course webinars in the first week of October. That's when we're starting. And so, yeah, we just are like, okay, that's pretty bullish for a minimum move. If AVAX makes a really good move, let's say Bitcoin gets to about $150,000, $160,000, which is pretty much the next level after 130, 140 that it would want to go to, then you're going to get AVAX at about $90, $95. And if you were to get a crazy move on Bitcoin at the end of the year, which would be like up to $200,000 or $180,000, then you could get AVAX closer to like $100, $120.
Yeah.
So that's a really easy move to kind of watch, because a lot of Wall Street money is rotating into that. But yeah, of course, nothing is ever guaranteed in any market, right? So you have to go on probabilities and everything like that. Right. But AVAX is one of those ones that's just screaming at everybody right now. It's a banker's coin, right? Because there's a lot of JP Morgan money behind it and other banks that are using it to facilitate, different things that the banks do. Some of them a little bit more above board than the others.
So, and there's also 2 coins I've got to mention that are also going to get some action. Chainlink. Thank you for the chat for reminding me, but yeah, Chainlink.
Correct. Sergey Nazarov is in with the Trump administration.
They were part of the whole dinner and everything. Like Chainlink's like one of the most important coins. It's not one of my favorite coins, but it's one of the absolute most important coins in crypto because it's the infrastructure. It basically sends, like, the simplest way to explain it is it basically tells blockchains what time is it, as well as what price the tokens are in the market. So it's basically like it tells contracts in the ether that, like, hey, Ethereum just hit this price. Okay, cool. And then that moves the chain basically based on its shorting and longing and stuff like that. But Chainlink is this just happened like in the last few weeks. A treasury company is going to start buying like $100 million plus of Chainlink. That's going to start pretty soon, as well as it's going to get an ETF as well. Another one, this is a meme coin, believe it or not.
I think AVAX, just to kind of quote different numbers, right? So that's about how much is going into that. AVAX has got about 500 million guaranteed coming toward it. They're trying to raise about $1 billion between two different companies. Crow, we said, has like $6.5 billion from Trump, Eric Trump going into it. There's just money. And like we said, Ethereum has about $25-30 billion coming into it. So there's a lot of money. Like as you go down the altcoins that are less of significance compared to Bitcoin, Ethereum, you kind of have less money coming into them, but it takes also less money to pump them.
All right, let's do some calls.
Unless anything else you guys want to educate them on before we start taking in calls?
Probably a few things, but one thing I will say just very quickly, because I know every time we come to your guys' show, I mean, especially this market, because retail doesn't have a lot of money. It's mostly Wall Street money coming into crypto that's been moving a lot of the price. A lot of people are like, this crypto stuff, it's not going anywhere. It's a scam, all that stuff. And you're like, well, if you've been paying attention to what we've been saying every single stream, I think we were on your guys' stream for, I believe it was a Monday, but it was the 21st of November, 2022. It was literally the same day as the Bitcoin low of $15,500. And right now, Bitcoin is $100,000 more expensive than that day.
Yeah.
And we're not even 3 years later, right? And so, and every quarter that we come, I think maybe there's been 1 or 2 quarters a year where it's mainly sideways, but 3 out of 4 quarters that we come every year, and Q4 has been up every single year. That's where the low happened. That's where we go to new all-time highs last year. Every time we come, prices are higher. It's usually a 50% to a 2x, which is a double 100% move on a lot of stuff, especially on the mains that we've come back here for. So it's always kind of funny to me to see that there's people still doubting crypto at this point with Bitcoin above $100,000, because you have, I mean, we could just name some of the banks that are in on these ETFs, but you have Van Eck, which has a pudgy penguin as a PFP on their actual Twitters. And some people are like, I don't want my bank putting up a PFP of a pudgy penguin. They're like, too bad, right? And they're, working with Tom Lee. Pengu is one. Pengu token, I think, is one that can do really, really well, even just in the next 2 months. It already has a really good move and following. I think it's one of those ones that everybody from both Wall Street, crypto, different organizations like the Trump I shouldn't say administration, but like the Eric Trump group, because
World Liberty Fi.
Yeah, World Liberty Fi, their the family trust, essentially, right? All this stuff is really moving crypto. We're getting a huge adoption here, but because there's not as much crazy speculation happening like we had last cycle, it's really focusing on what coins of quality and then some of the coins in their ecosystem instead of like every coin that exists. I think people have got kind of a little jaded to crypto, and it's kind of like a frog in boiling water to some extent, where prices have come up, but they've come up a little less aggressively or a little bit more slowly than they have in the past 2 bull markets. And so for that reason, I think a lot of people are still on the sidelines in disbelief. And so, yeah, I mean, every kind of $25,000 Bitcoin moves up, you're going to get new people kind of awakening and being like, oh shit, like, okay, I doubted crypto, but can't really anymore.
Damn. Yeah.
So, yeah.
And like the last one is basically Bonk, which I didn't really like. I couldn't believe that one for a while, but like basically Bonk is making their own version of like Pump.Fund, but they're now partnering with Radium, which is the biggest exchange, DEX exchange, one of the largest on Solana. They're now working with Crow Token, and they're going to be working with World Liberty Fi. So there's kind of like Trump administration's Crypto.com, Radium, and this meme coin.
Right. And if I were to name other banks, we got Van Eck, we got Bitwise, we got, what's Kathy Wood's company again? ARK Invest.
ARK Invest, yeah.
We got Grayscale, which tends to be, if you watch what Grayscale does, whatever ETFs they apply for generally have gotten approved, because BlackRock is also going in on stuff that they're kind of moving. They're kind of like a first mover for crypto in Wall Street. And so, yeah, if you're paying attention and watching these things, there's tons of money making opportunities every single quarter. There's a bunch of our guys who we got into this token called Nobody Token. They've made
nobody sausage, man. Yeah. I think they were sponsoring the Canelo Crawford fight, and they were betting on Crawford.
Yeah, and like Nobody Token, it came out, I believe, in April.
Yeah, April for like, I think like a little under $1 million. We got in at 4 million, and it's right now at $60 million. So we've done pretty good with it.
Yeah, market cap. And so there's a lot of people who are taking the Q3 crypto mindset course which we everybody enrolled for the last time we were on here at the end of June, beginning of July. And a lot of those guys have paid for the next crypto mindset course with profits, and then had, of course, extra profits on top of that. So we always try to make sure that we get you guys plenty of opportunities within the quarter, because we're paying heavy attention to the market, so that you can basically make the money of what the course costs back if you're paying attention and taking the webinars for the information that we're giving. But I mean, sometimes because, global markets are a little choppy and everybody's kind of like, where are we before rate cuts started happening? I think that has kind of caused a lot of people to be on the investor sideline more so than I think probably they should.
But let's take some calls and stuff, and we'll definitely answer kind of why there's been a lag, and we kind of know the real reason why it's been a lag out. I mean, it's been institutional, but
they're gonna connect the phone lines now. They have to use an app.
You are connected as the host. Welcome,
right
host. You are now in the host room and can manage your callers from the call-in studio web interface.
Go ahead, Miguel.
Go ahead, Miguel.
You were saying something?
Oh no, I was waiting for
we were waiting. We weren't sure if there's somebody on the line or.
No. We just have to activate the service.
It's coming up.
Okay, got it. So one of the reasons why people have been complaining a lot is we've like I've said, the Bitcoin side has been being bought up way more than the Ethereum side. In the beginning, there was we had I think with January of 24, we had the Bitcoin ETF, and then much later in the year, we had the Ethereum ETF. Most institutional buyers were just buying Bitcoin. Just in the last 3 months, we started getting institutional buyers buying the Ethereum side finally, and Ethereum's now really kind of starting to catch up a little bit. But it's really just been a strong Bitcoin cycle with some meme coins and Solana and other stuff. And one of the big things that's been going on in the background is that countries are getting into making stable coins as well as their central bank digital currencies. I think 60% of stable coins are being built on top of Ethereum. I don't think that's including L2s and stuff like that, as well as there's I think the South Korean government just launched their stable coin, their first ever stable coin on Avalanche yesterday. And but what's going on right now is that we have entities within TradFi. These are like BlackRock. These are big institutions and stuff, banks that are been suppressing and buying the Ethereum supply. Because and now we have treasury companies will have to be public about it, but something like Bitmine, they're trying to get 6% of the entire Ethereum supply, which is 6 million Ethereum. Right now they have currently 2.1 million Ethereum, which is valued today at 9.6 billion. So they have 9.6 billion Ethereum that they basically bought in the last year. So we have these huge entities, just like we have in Bitcoin as well. These treasury companies are buying, but we also have very large private entities that have been so the way crypto works is through a lot of the coins work kind of through liquidity pools. So we have exchanges, which is Coinbase, Kraken, Binance, and then we have DEXs like Uniswap and PancakeSwap and things like that, right? Well, Ethereum is really even though Bitcoin is our gold, our oil is Ethereum. And because Ethereum has been kind of sideways for such a long time, it has really hurt a lot of L1s and L2s in the entire space. So because these L1s and L2s have been flat, some have done okay, other ones have just pumped and then not done anything anymore. Their ecosystems have suffered tremendously, basically. So now that Ethereum's moved up, there's been sort of this recovery, oh, finally. Now because a lot of these private entities have loaded up on Ethereum already, which is basically they're loading up to be able to sell on people's heads at the all-time highs. And these treasury companies are they're just buying tens of thousands of Ethereum every week as well. So now it's now acquiring Ethereum season, but we still have very large companies buying Bitcoin, and a lot of that speculative purchasing is going to start going over to Solana, AVAX, XRP, Dogecoin, Pro token. Eventually, there will be an ETF for World Liberty Fi. I mean, it's Trump's coin. I mean, well, Trump's going to get that money one way or another.
And speaking of those coins, right? And just let us know when somebody's on the line.
No, we got people waiting right now.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I guess one thing I'll say, just because the chat's talking about it, right, is, and I'll try to make it quick on this point, right? But XRP is actually in a good spot, believe it or not, right? What? Oh my God, right? Because basically XRP is this coin. It's kind of like a banker's coin in crypto. So there's people in crypto who love it. There's people in crypto who hate it, right? And actually, they have some of the best SEO out there. So they get a lot of people on the XRP train. I think I met some guy here in Vegas. What was it? It was like 2 months ago. He'd bought XRP like under 50 cents during this bull market or whatever, and it's at like $3 right now. So XRP has done very well. And the one interesting thing about XRP, even though the banks are technically, what do you call it, competitors to XRP because they're trying to replace the SWIFT system or at least have a different option for that. Even though the banks are competitors to it, they're coming out with the XRP ETFs and money's already started to flow into that. And so XRP is actually in a good spot to head towards $10. Now, if you watch TikTok, you'll hear, and don't do that with crypto, by the way.
Don't do that
Don't
at
do
all.
that. But if you see on TikTok, what they're trying to sell XRP as is going to $10,000 this cycle and stuff like that.
That ain't happening. That ain't
is definitely not happening. You do have, I think every time XRP goes up, a couple dollars, you have Brad Glaringhouse, who's one of the leaders in that organization, plus a few others who are selling, $50 million of XRP here, $100 million there, but the price still goes up, right? Because you have a lot of Wall Street buying their bags, essentially. So even though XRP, I think it'll mainly keep pace with Ethereum this cycle, but it's a very high market cap coin. So that's actually a very good ability to do it. But I think it could easily get to $10 this cycle.
Maybe 12 pushing it at most.
Yeah. But I mean, don't believe the crazy hype of it going to like $1,000 or $10,000. That's absolutely insane for where it's at. But $10, $15 would be a little bit of a stretch. But $10 is very well within the range.
They're shenanigans. They have a lot of e-thoughts that they have on Instagram and TikTok. So like these chicks don't know shit about crypto, and then they're all XRP only girls and stuff. So you see, they're being paid to like shill XRP to like a younger crowd because like, XRP is mostly held by like the 40+ crowd. So they're marketing trying to get like 15 to like 35 right now through like Instagram and TikTok and stuff. So I see it all the time. I'm just like. I mean, they got like from OnlyFans girls to like, I got to give them their flowers, man. You got to market how you got to market.
They do very good marketing.
But like they're trying right now to like basically make the crowd younger because it's mostly guys in their 40s and up because they really got the boomer crowd and the extra crowd in XRP and stuff. But
so Miguel, would you say to buy XRP now?
Say it again.
Would you say to buy XRP now while it's $3?
I think there's better opportunities really. Than XRP, but it will do well. Like if it's $3, we believe it's it's probably at least going to $8. But the thing is like you could even say it could go higher. But here's the problem: is that this coin has shown in the past, and the founders sell tokens all the time. I believe every 3 months there's an unlock of tokens. They always sell more XRP. I mean, the one good thing, hopefully there's contracts with the ETFs is maybe when the unlocks happen, maybe they just OTC the XRP to the what's called the ETFs, and at least maybe this is not dumping the price anymore, because this has been like the big problem is that this coin, for how big its community is, if you didn't have the foundation and the founders and the ex-founders and all these larger, they just keep selling it every fucking time. Like every time. It's insane. Like this is why I've always told people to stay away from it. When we guys were like, hey, I like XRP. Okay, here's really good prices. Buy it here. And they've done really well. They bought it at 50 cents. They bought it at $1, right? So they're up on it. But the problem is like the biggest entities in it, they sell it all the time. Like Ripple only makes money by selling XRP, but there's big things happening for it, so it will move. I'm happy for it. But like, you think at $10, someone's like, if they were selling it at $1, you think they're not going to sell some at 10, like massive amounts at $10?
That's when they pay for their mansions.
Yeah, and the same thing too with and I've had a bone to pick a little bit with this is something that really pissed me off in 2021 about Chainlink. Is that like the foundation was basically secretly selling a shit ton of Chainlink throughout 21, and then around November of 21, hey, you guys, we're officially done selling. We sold enough Chainlink to fund us for the next bear market, and we're going to expand and open like basically 20 or 30 offices around the world. And the community was like, "You've been selling the fucking year."
Yeah.
And the coin did really well. If you got in 2020. God bless you. You killed. It was one of the best.
It was like $4 to $40. Did a really good 10x there. And then, of course, you could have got it at different prices too. But I would say that's what the move generally everybody did. But yeah, they did slow down by selling coins in the market for the foundation. They slowed down the potential, so it could have gone a lot higher.
It should have gone
price
way higher.
Yeah,
way higher. And
this is a strategy that a lot of people in crypto made from 2018, because at the end of 2017's bull market, even the Ethereum Foundation didn't really sell as much Ethereum as they probably should have at the top of the market, because during the bear market, they're mostly in token, their equity or their value or the liquidity, whatever you want to call it, was mostly in the coin. And so when the market was going down for altcoins, they were losing their ability to hire developers, to build the foundation, to really, strengthen the project. So since 2018, you've had projects do that more frequently. It's just Ripple does it a little bit harder than a lot of other projects. So I just wanted to address Ripple, because the chat, there's a lot of both sides in the chat on Ripple, and that's our opinion on it. I think it'll do just fine. But I personally, I like Sui, I like Solana. I think those ones are good.
Pro's really
better.
good. Pro's
a solid one too.
Yeah, and it did. So like last thing on the Chainlink thing is like they started like Chainlink actually at least in the first half from like May onward, it did really well, and then so there was an all-time high in the early part of 2020, which was, I think it was April, I believe. We hit like $64,000 in Bitcoin, and Chainlink hit like an all-time high, or a month afterwards hit an all-time high. That's pretty normal. Cool. Then in November, we hit a higher price. The all-time high for 21 in 69,000. Chainlink didn't pump that high, or didn't even regain. So basically, it was being heavily sold the entire time by the foundation and insiders and stuff. So we look at, sometimes it's sort of like a girl, don't look at what they say, look at what they do. So this is why I'm just keeping my eye on them. It's just I've seen them do some trifling shit before, so I'm expecting some trifling shit later.
Makes
That's
sense.
it.
No.
All right. Who's the first caller?
Absolutely. 6654, you are up. 6654, you are up.
Yo, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, so I've called in a few times about this, and I'm glad I actually finally got a chance to talk to you guys, Charlie and Miguel especially. I got a question. So you just said earlier, it's like a girl. Pay attention to what they do, not what they say, or not what the hype is. So basically, you guys are like, you're like altcoin snake oil salesman, basically. Like you're selling all these altcoins. You're selling all these altcoins to unsuspecting, naive investors who don't know anything about crypto, all over unit bias. Do you know what unit bias is, brother?
Oh, what unit bias is?
Can you explain it to us?
Okay, so unit bias is whenever you have all these shit coins that are a lower price than Bitcoin, and you get all these dumbasses to look at it and be like, oh, it's cheaper than Bitcoin, it must be better, so I can buy more of it. And it's like, no, dude, if you look at every single chart, every single altcoin in existence right now, none of them have made all-time highs paired to BTC. You're losing money by buying altcoins.
I know
And they're smiling and laughing. It's like, dude, you know I'm right. You know I'm right.
We just told you right now. Like
we just told you.
BNB just hit $1,000. It ICO'd at 10 cents in 2016.
Wow,
and
you found one altcoin. You found one altcoin that's literally barely moved against Bitcoin. It hasn't moved against Bitcoin. Dude, everything is getting priced out.
If you had bought Sui over the last 365 days, you massively won against Bitcoin. Sui's a brand new token this cycle. If you went to
over the past 365 days, bro, I'm talking about years. This is a long-term investment. Like, you guys have no idea what you're talking about.
The last 4 or 5 years that have outpaced Bitcoin, especially key point here.
Nothing has outpaced Bitcoin. You're lying. You're lying through your teeth, brother. Okay, and I'm calling you out because you guys are
questions and you're going to make fucking statements talking about snake oil salesmen. We're going to have a chance to talk about this, right? And so here's the thing. There are moments where you want to be heavy Bitcoin in a 4-year cycle. There are moments where you want to cultivate crypto. What does that mean? You want to stack more Bitcoin and Ethereum. Would you agree that if you bought
That's not how it works, dude. That's not how it works. Most of the investors that buy these altcoins do not profit against Bitcoin. You are lying to people. Stop lying, dude. Stop it.
What I'm going to ask you is, okay, so Ethereum, the coin Ethereum, go back to 2017. If you bought Ethereum under, let's say, $100, would you have outpaced Bitcoin and made more?
Dude, okay, you're trying to like make a point to me, and I'm not stupid, bro. I know how to do math. You're not going to be able to time the market like that. That's not how shit works. You should know better.
Yes.
You're telling this stuff to naive investors, and you're being very dishonest.
These accusations and not listen, right? So.
I'm listening, bro. I know what you're trying to say.
Listen, I'm
stupid.
Hey, call it.
I'm saying you're coming here,
ask
a question, you ask your question, let us talk. So here's the thing in crypto, right? You'll get people who are Bitcoin only. And sure, if you buy Bitcoin only, you'll make a lot of money over time. You'll hedge against inflation. It's great. We don't ever say it's a bad thing. We tell you guys the tapestry of all of crypto. Why? Because it's a fast-moving industry. You can make money in different ways. We tell you all the different strategies that you can make money in those. Whereas we're not saying, if you're a Bitcoin max, you want to only buy Bitcoin. We say, more power to you, bro. If you want Bitcoin, Ethereum only, or Solana, more power to you. If you want to go into shitcoin 5,000, trade it over the next 1 week and make some money on it, buy more Bitcoin, more power to you. Yeah. It's up to each individual to figure out, based on the information that we provide, hey, this is a good opportunity or this is not a good opportunity. And there's people who say altcoins are all going to zero. It's terrible. They have consistently made people money over cycles. If you buy them and hold them forever, some of them don't survive. And in that case, right, you don't want to do that. So like I would say traders mentality this cycle has done extremely well. Last cycle, buying and holding did extremely well. So every cycle you have to have a different strategy.
Okay, you're still encouraging people to buy venture capital exit strategy coins. All of these coins are venture capital, and like all of them have founders and people that control them. They're not decentralized like Bitcoin. And you guys don't even talk about Bitcoin. You guys hadn't even mentioned the controversy that's going on with Bitcoin Core 30 and like the development. You guys don't even actually know what you're talking about.
We talk about Bitcoin on our channel every single fucking day, bro.
That's all you're doing, dude. No. It's annoying. I hate people like y'all because what you do
is you
tell all these young guys to buy these shit coins. How come I can't make my point now? How come you get to talk and I can't talk? Okay, so
we're just making comments on your comments.
You're telling all of these young kids to buy these shit coins, and then you don't explain to them that the whole idea is to get more Bitcoin. But that's not how it works out.
My whole channel name is fucking cultivate crypto.
Bro.
I say on my channel every single day that the point of buying crypto is to make more Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's the name of my channel. It's my brand, bro.
You guys are the guys that called you out, and I'm dunking on you guys right now because you guys are salesmen, and nobody's gonna buy your course as long as I'm here to tell them not to.
You know what's funny? This guy calls in every show saying the same thing. Buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin. I can close my eyes and tell you guys.
I've been buying Bitcoin since 2016.
I know what I'm talking about. Charlie Miguel all the time. Buy Bitcoin, buy Ethereum. Okay?
Yo, caller.
You're so mad sassy, bro.
Yo, question for you, bro. Like, if you don't like Charlie and Miguel so much and you just only buy Bitcoin.
I don't like snake oil salesmen. I don't like people that sell shitcoins to young, unsuspecting investors.
Yo, let me finish. Why do you keep calling into the show, bro, if you have such a fucking problem?
Do you want me to explain why, or are y'all just going to keep interrupting me? Because I can explain it.
Well, the thing is, like I said, when people ask them questions about alternate coins, whatever, they answer those coins. But they've always talked about, literally, bro, they spent the first part of the show talking about Bitcoin hitting 115,000 or 125,000, Solana hitting 300, then Ethereum hitting 5,500 as basis first. Then they went and talked about
none of the numbers you tell me matter, because if you look at the Bitcoin pairs, I'm talking about Bitcoin pairs, not the USD pairs. I'm talking about the Bitcoin pairs. None of them have made all-time highs against Bitcoin. If you're buying anything but Bitcoin, you're losing money. You're losing opportunity cost. That's what these guys won't tell you about. They won't tell you about opportunity cost.
Oh, really?
We talk about that. We have an entire webinar called Risk Management, which we talk about that. Yeah.
Because look,
when you're losing opportunity costs, your opportunity cost is through the roof if you're buying shitcoin.
When Bitcoin is at its all-time low,
hey, caller, yo, zoom in on my shit real quick. This is my Ethereum return. I don't know if you can see that. Can they see that or no? Make that enlarge.
Bro, I'm not impressed with
no. Because here's the thing. Bro.
I don't care about your personal returns.
Yo, shut the fuck up, okay? Because you came in here first. You said if you're not buying Bitcoin, there's no returns. Why am I up $170,000 on Ethereum right now? You fucking retard.
That's not what I said. You're conflating. You're taking my.
I am listening to exactly what you said.
Context.
You said if you're not buying Bitcoin, you're wasting money. Yep. That's what you said first. Then you said everything else is opportunity cost.
You're being outpaced by Bitcoin. You're not winning. You think you're winning because it's going
Bitcoin
up,
too, bro.
but it could be going way up, like way more, because you're getting priced out, dude. Like the Bitcoin pair is going
$30 million going to Ethereum is not going to push Ethereum past $5,000. Is that what you're telling me? Are you telling me that the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart is not reversing right now against in Ethereum's favor? You're not. You don't see that in the market right now.
I'm looking at the chart right now, bro. It's down 75% from the all-time high.
Hold on, Charlie, Miguel.
Why don't you talk about all the fucking banks and all the large entities that you're so mad about buying Bitcoin?
I got a better idea. Caller, how about
when they're buying your coin, it's good, right? When Goldman Sachs buys you, it's good.
One sec. Caller, show us your portfolio right now. You're so big on Bitcoin. How much you got, bro? Show us. Send a screenshot into Bills or Mo.
So now it's a pissing contest to see who has the most Bitcoin?
You can't do it.
100% of Bitcoin.
You got nothing. Nothing.
Like,
bro, see how he keeps moving the goalposts?
What difference does it
Yeah,
make?
you keep
I'm
moving the
right.
goalposts.
You guys are wrong.
You keep moving the goalposts, bro. First it was, unless if you're not investing in Bitcoin, you're wasting your money because you have an opportunity cost. I tell you, well, I'm up 170,000. Well, you could have did this if you did Bitcoin, bro. Shut the fuck up, man. Shut the fuck up. Like honestly, dude, I don't even like you. I don't know why you call into the show. You're blatantly lying. You have a fucking bone to pick. Get this guy the fuck up out of here, bro.
You have nothing.
Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Argument.
I'm up 170,000 right now in my Ethereum, motherfucker. What the fuck are you talking about? Not making money. Shut the fuck up, dude. I hate retards. Get this guy off our line, bro. What the fuck?
He's off.
Every single
Put
show,
your dumb
bro.
monkey ass that way, bro. Dude just calls in all the time to chimp out and hate. How the fuck am I up? Look, I got receipts for my shit, motherfucker.
He's a Bitcoin maxi. He only believes in Bitcoin. If you don't do that, you're a scammer. You're a salesperson, bro. Bitcoin obviously is a foundational thing, but like,
Absolutely.
here we go.
The right one. The right one.
There we go.
Right there.
170K up on Ethereum only. Don DeMarco.
beautiful.
See, that's why I hate these niggas, bro, because they just sit there. And here's the other thing. When I bought Ethereum, it was way cheaper. I was getting it at around 1,800. Not everyone has the money to buy Bitcoin. So you can go in and get Ethereum if you don't have as much money to put in.
And
this
then
dude's a fucking retard,
you buy the
bro.
coins and then put the money into Bitcoin if you want to after.
Yo, man, I hate fucking idiots, dude. Calls into the show. You're not gonna make any money. What the fuck is this? I'm looking at it right now. I hate stupid people, bro. Fucking hate stupid people.
And Myron, what was the first coin I told you to buy when we had our first
Bitcoin. You literally told me to buy Bitcoin, and then as Bitcoin started to get more expensive, I said, okay, let me go ahead and get the next best thing. And I started buying up Ethereum. But yeah, we never discount Bitcoin. But this fucking retard's over here saying Bitcoin, right? You're wasting your time if you don't buy anything else but Bitcoin. And I fucking hate idiots like that.
Yeah. He calls it every show.
Bro.
Same guy.
And here's the thing. He talks about opportunity costs. There's a time to buy Bitcoin. When Bitcoin hit $15,500, 18,000, 20,000, we were backing up the Brinks truck, buying Bitcoin only. Then we bought Ethereum. We were telling people to keep buying Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin every day on Charlie's show, my show, during 22, 23, 24, keep buying Bitcoin. But there comes a point in time where like, all right, should I buy 115, 20? It's an incredible coin. Absolutely. I will continue to always buy Bitcoin, but it's now $115,000 when I was buying it for $15,000. There's opportunity costs. I can make more money on other coins. Am I selling my Bitcoin off? No, I still have the Bitcoin I bought at $15,000. I still have the Bitcoin I bought for $3,000. I still have the Bitcoin I bought for $500 back in 2016. But there's opportunity costs, right? At the top of the cycle, you don't want to buy Bitcoin because the gains you get aren't that going to be that great anymore because you already have you can take profits on the coins you bought already cheaper. You on the fresh capital, you buy altcoins to make faster multiples, take that cash, and then buy Bitcoin at the bottom when it crashes.
Yeah, bro. Dude, fuck that guy, man. We'll just move on to somebody else, man. Like, I hate retards that come in here and say stupid shit like that because it's like, bro, I literally have my portfolio here where I made almost 200,000 on fucking Ethereum by buying another coin that isn't Bitcoin, you idiot.
But to Miguel's point, Bitcoin's already high. Most people can't afford that.
Yeah, especially now.
Yeah.
Especially now.
Times are hard.
You know what I mean? And when I was buying Ethereum, Bitcoin was already getting at 20, 30, 40, 50, 60K when I was buying Ethereum at like 1,800. So now everyone has the money to buy Bitcoin. Unlike, and you know the other revealing thing? Won't show his portfolio, but he want to sit here and lecture everybody else.
Bro,
I show my shit.
On. You know what's funny?
I show mine.
If he was so good, he would be on YouTube. He'd be on his own show, getting views, getting collaborations. Where's his channel? Nowhere. Where's his views? Nowhere. Okay. Shut up, nigga.
Like, yo, he don't got more money than any of us. He'll ever try to tell us what the fuck it is, bro. Like, I hate these guys, man. Shut the fuck up. All right, let's get to the next caller.
In December of 22, we did the mega course. And we came on here. Bitcoin was real low. We got everyone to buy Bitcoin sub $20,000. We got to buy Ethereum $700, $800. We got to buy Solana. A ton of our guys bought Solana under $10. We bought, XRP at the low. We bought everything.
Hold on, Miguel. We need a new rule. If you're gonna call it and toot your horn and talk shit to us, show your portfolio. If not, don't say a word, bro. At least that's fair, right? That's fair.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. And it doesn't even have to be a crazy dollar amount, right? As long as you've made money, that's great, right? If you have $1,000 that you put in the market and you brought it to $10,000. Congratulations. That I consider that a W. It's not about, you know, how much you have. It's more about like, what have you done? You know, where are you putting your money where your mouth is? But the small little side note is, one thing we do talk about is how to be coin agnostic in your crypto mindset. Not that you need to love every altcoin that's out there, because 95% of them basically will fail. It's like the internet, right? Websites work and some of them work better than others over time. Some of them stick around, like Amazon, Google, and stuff like that. But basically, if you're coin agnostic, you can not fall into the emotional tribalism that a lot of people fall into in crypto. They tend to love XRP or love Bitcoin or love Ethereum, which is great, but it's good to expand your horizons, learn about the whole market, and then, you know, make proper decisions based on each quarter's timing. So if you're coin agnostic, you'll usually get the wool pulled over your eyes a lot less by a lot of different projects, because you won't believe the hype on every single project. Instead, you'll hear the argument of, okay, why is each project maybe have a different use case and stuff like that? Which ones are good? Which ones are better than others? And then you can make your proper investments, bets, trades accordingly, depending on, you know, how you're approaching the market. So there's not a one size fits all for everybody, but sometimes people like to basically claim that there is, which, you know.
And just the last thing, he was getting basically really mad at us for basically like, how could you tell guys to buy coins that are being bought up by banks and VCs? That's the same people buying Bitcoin up. They
Standard Charter, Fidelity. I mean, these banks are stupid, right?
I mean, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan. I mean, basically every Bank of America, damn near every single bank in America that has been buying Bitcoin, has been buying Ethereum, has been buying crypto companies. But they don't get mad when they're buying Bitcoin. When they're buying Bitcoin, you know, hey, Goldman Sachs, BlackRock, these are great companies when they're buying Bitcoin. But when they buy something else, now they're the devil.
But Miguel, to your point and Charlie's point, you know what I want to buy? Coins that make me money. Fuck being only one coin, bro. That's what, bro. If I can make money for my family, any coin, I will. That's it. Period, bro. Like,
yeah. But look, to his point, right? Long term, if you're only gonna pick one coin, the safest, absolutely safest coin is Bitcoin.
Of course, absolutely. Of course.
But we're coin agnostic. We buy multiple coins. Like one of my main things is like every bear market, I buy a certain amount of Bitcoin that I'm never going to sell. Or at least I'm not going to sell it in the next like 10, 15 years. This next, in late 26, when we're doing a mega course for the bottom or whatever, right? We're going to be telling guys, hey, guys, get your first 10th of a Bitcoin. You know, because like if Bitcoin only goes to $70,000, it's going to be $7,000 for a 10th of a Bitcoin. You know, most people don't have $70,000. You know, you can buy stack stats and chill, but it's you know, the average person's probably making $60,000 a year. 20% of that is like dispensable income and stuff. So it's like so most people have like $12,000 a year to invest into things. Over time, they get better at saving. They have more money. But like the average person like doesn't have the capital to buy a full $70,000 Bitcoin after it crashes from like 200,000 down to 70,000. But we can get people into their first 10th of a Bitcoin, and they can hold that for a long time, and that's going to turn into a decent amount of money. That's life-changing money. But that's what we do for people.
Hey, it's 100. Yeah, it's 100K when Bitcoin gets to $1 million, and Bitcoin will one day.
Yeah, I mean, this is why anyone that's like this is why it gets cringy when anyone's a maximalist about anything. It just gets crazy. Like when people are all like crazy XRP guys or crazy Bitcoin guys or crazy Ethereum, it just magically everyone turns into like a cunt, basically.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And the guy's obsessed. Anyway, let's get to the next person, bro. Who gives a fuck, man? Some random anon motherfucker talking shit.
All right.
So it doesn't matter, bro. Honestly, like
3385. You are up. 3385.
Hello, you guys hear me?
Yeah, man, what's up? Hit us with your question.
Assalamu alaikum, Myron, and what's good for content and everything. And
alaikum salam.
Question, no question.
You're a bit muffled, bro.
Your phone is your quality is really bad, bro.
You might talk into the phone itself.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
No,
but
you're
muffled.
coming in muffled.
Muffled, bro.
My bad. Just let me know if you can hear me now.
Yeah, we can.
A little bit better.
Okay, yeah. So. Yeah, thank you guys. I just had a few questions about the crypto coins that you guys were talking about. So right now, I only own Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I feel like the person before me was a little bit rude about it. But my question is like, the thing about Solana is it's like not really held by institutional investors. If you can understand what I'm saying, and I just think that I know what the guy before me was saying, but I just feel like maybe you guys can rebuttal this for me. I don't know. I just feel like Bitcoin and Ethereum are the only safe plays right now in terms of the crypto market. Like I said, the infrastructure is not there with Solana and all the smaller coins. Can you like elaborate more on that?
So, okay. So I'll give you the opinion of not myself, but Standard Chartered Bank, okay?
Okay.
So Standard Chartered Bank is a bank out of the UK. The way that they're looking at the market right now is their call for Bitcoin at the end of this year is about 180,000. They think Ethereum's going to 7,500 by the end of this year. And they weren't sold on Solana until about the middle of this summer. And the main reason why that was is because this cycle where Solana has really made its money is on meme coins. And that's, you know, your crypto natives, that's your retail traders, you're right. That's not institutions, correct. Here's where Solana's kind of been really interesting, though, right? Which is Standard Chartered Bank said from about this summer, they've started to see more interest in Solana from institutions because the ETF is all along, it's coming on its way here probably in the middle of October, around the October 10th to the 22nd, somewhere in there is probably where it should get approved. And then you already have Galaxy, which is Galaxy Digital, the Mike Novograt's company. He's kind of a traditional Wall Street guy, along with Jump Capital and a few others that are joining in. They basically got $1 billion that they got together from a group, and they're putting that into Solana. Pantera, this is the really interesting one, though, which is Pantera Capital. Pantera Capital, or sorry, I think that, Pantera Capital, sorry, I was like Pantera Fund, no, Pantera Capital. They're the oldest cryptocurrency hedge fund. Dan Moorhead's the guy who leads that company, and he's been right about what's kind of like the next thing around the corner in crypto. He was one of he's the oldest cryptocurrency hedge fund, and they basically built it on Bitcoin from the early days. Then they pivoted to Ethereum in probably between 2016 to 2018. Yeah. Somewhere in that period, they were slowly adopting it. Dan Moorhead specifically, I remember this very vividly, went on a podcast in 2019, a cryptocurrency podcast with, I think it was Cointelegraph or CoinDesk, one of those two publications. They interviewed him, and he said, I'm bullish on Ethereum, I'm bullish on DeFi, decentralized finance, which didn't exist until 2020, which is a year later than that. They laughed at him. They absolutely laughed at him. They're like, bro, like DeFi, that doesn't even exist right now. We don't even have a DeFi exchange. Like, what are you talking about? A year later, DeFi just started. 2 years later, DeFi freaking boomed. Now we're in a DeFi market. Standard Chartered Bank has basically started seeing that money starting to flow to Solana. And what did Pantera Capital do? They bought $1 billion of Solana. When did they do it?
Isn't that sorry to cut you off. Isn't that like more of a short-term volume?
The last part I'll just say, the very, very last part is, so they bought $1 billion, but when did they do it? They bought it at the early part of this cycle over the last 2 years. And they bought it off of FTX because FTX was selling off a lot of their Solana. So they tend to be a first mover. And so they're huge on Solana. Then Galaxy Digital is coming in. Once you get the ETF approved in October, you'll have more inflows coming to Solana. So if I were to rank them, I would say Bitcoin's already got most of its inflows. Ethereum's right now the coin that's getting the most inflows. And then Solana's kind of next on the docket. But you're right, like Bitcoin and Ethereum are ahead of it. But Solana is getting that institutional adoption, and they're also getting real world assets and tokenization on chain. And that's what's going to keep it thriving. But
and we've had plenty of guys that are Bitcoin only, Ethereum only, that have taken the course, and we just basically help them to basically when to buy local lows. Like, so like for guys that are only Bitcoin or only Ethereum, you either have like a very basic DCA strategy where you buy every week depending on your paycheck, or you have more of a laddered in strategy where you kind of save up like a month's income of purchases and you buy on the big red day so they can get better entry. So you kind of maximize your Satoshis or your basically your fractions of Ethereum. But you know, you having Bitcoin and Ethereum only portfolio, you've done very well and you're going to continue to do very well. It's just you have to really, really, really watch the market to start taking some profits, because you know these are the thermometers of the crypto space. Bitcoin and Ethereum are the absolute, like, that's what everyone's watching. And when they top out, the rest of crypto tops out within 3 months. It's over, basically. So, you completely
my average price for Bitcoin was 55,000, and I sold it at the top at like 121,000. And so then I bought back in when it dropped to 113,000 with what I made from there. And so that's where I'm at right now. I primarily am a U.S. equities trader. I mean, I just trade mainly U.S. equities. I'm maybe 20% crypto. But yeah, I mean, it's good for me to understand this too, because I don't understand the smaller coins. I'm really just, I feel like Bitcoin is just digital gold in my opinion and stuff like that. And I guess their infrastructure, in my opinion, maybe you could try to change my mind on that. And I'm a little bit sold on it, but I'm still not 100% confident on it.
You're a really intelligent guy. Look, so like I'll give you two spots that are kind of our first. We're going to talk about this in the crypto mindset course, but like I'll talk about it here. It's about the warning spots. So $138,000 Bitcoin and $156,000 Bitcoin. So $138,000 Bitcoin is basically a 2x of the all-time high of 21. It's like the first danger zone we've hit. We're like, that's where like it could top. That would be really shitty. That would be a really shitty all-time high for Bitcoin. But we're not going to lie to our guys. When we're like, hey, you guys, we've crossed the danger zone. We're at $138,000 Bitcoin. People, it could top here.
Pay closer attention.
Yeah, head on a swivel now. Okay, we're watching. The next level is $158,000 Bitcoin, which is a $3 trillion market cap. This guy was like, unit bias, round numbers. Well, Bitcoiners do the same thing. Everyone wants a 1 Bitcoin or 10 Bitcoin. If you look at the top wallets, they're split up in 1 Bitcoin chunks, 10 Bitcoin chunks, 100 Bitcoin chunks, 1,000 Bitcoin, 10,000. The biggest whales are splitting their wallets by 10,000s. Oh, isn't that a unit bias? Isn't that a round number? But that's just human nature. Well, human nature we never will get, as long as humans are buying crypto or equities or anything, we have human nature. So a $3 trillion market cap is basically, it's 52,000 times 3. Basic, rough math there. So it's like 156 to 158. So if you are in profits, you could take your original principal out at that time and then just kind of roll the dice on of it. Or unless but you're obviously a kind of a high level trader. So I just want to tell you that so you have that information. That's on Bitcoin. And then from there with Bitcoin, if Bitcoin tops there, Ethereum's topping really soon as well. Maybe Ethereum.
Yeah, like I said, I got in Ethereum a long time ago too, and I sold it at around like 4,000. And so maybe I should have held it, but I bought back into it again and everything. But my last question is too. So MSTR, right? They're a company that I think Michael Saylor owns. They own a lot of Bitcoin or something like that. And so I screwed around with that in terms of owning the stock. And then there's BMNR, which is like kind of like MSTR, but for Ethereum. What's your guys' thoughts on that? Is there any company like that's a U.S. equity company that holds Solana like that, or is that in the process of coming?
So yeah, there's two companies that hold Solana as digital asset treasury companies. One of them is named Helios, and I believe Helios actually has a working relationship with Pantera Capital. And then is like Firm something. I forgot the name of the next one, but they recently are putting in about $4 billion. I'd have to pull up the article, or maybe Miguel can. But they put in about $4 billion into Solana. So yeah, there's a few of them, but BitMine right now for Ethereum is probably the most aggressive one because they're trying to outpace what Michael Saylor did with strategy.
Yeah, we'll try to find. I'll try to find. If not, I will leave it for you in the comment section of this video. We'll find that company for you for Solana. I think there is like one company, like for Litecoin as an example, but like that's pretty risky. It's mostly the Ethereum companies and mostly Bitcoin companies, because like the Bitcoin companies have the jump on the Ethereum companies. Like right now, we mostly have treasury companies that are kind of privately held, with not many of them having stocks. But I think the stocks are coming for the Ethereum companies very soon over the next 6 months. With Bitcoin, there's plenty of them, but like with Michael Saylor's one, it's already run up so much already. But like if Bitcoin keeps going higher, it's levered out and it's going to keep going. But there's also quite a few Bitcoin companies that are, because they're not over leveraging themselves, they're kind of trading under book value a little bit, which is like very strange. Because but that's just kind of the market right now. Basically, the market's really, really, really like incentivizing like the Michael Saylor strategy for the Bitcoin side, because they want people to go like full tilt leverage, because it's like if Bitcoin goes higher, that means they can borrow more to buy more Bitcoin. So that means they're just going to keep growing. The stock will just keep going because they keep having more Bitcoin under management or under their treasury, I should say.
Yep. The name of the company for Solana is called Forward Industries. That's the one that has put in the most. And then you have Soulmate, which was made from Brera, which is a UAE company. So that one in particular is going to have the stock both on the what do you call it?
The NASDAQ,
the NASDAQ with the US, but then also the UAE market as well. So that one's going to be traded over both.
Yeah, be really careful. This is stocks versus cryptos. They act more differently, 100%. Obviously. Yeah, but the stock side has performed very well, especially if you're in Michael Saylor's. Yeah. Like that's the company we're going to be looking at as long as they don't explode. That's one danger about do not hold when crypto tops. Do not hold Michael's strategy stock. It's going to crash.
That's a rule number one, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, rule number one. Yeah, but as long as Michael Saylor's company doesn't like hit a margin level where they have to liquidate their Bitcoin, it's going to be a great stock because he's going to run it up again. So that's going to be one that we're going to be looking into very much. Coinbase stock is another one as well. It didn't perform as well as Michael Saylor's because Michael Saylor's is full tilt leveraging Bitcoin, as well as they also got the bonus of Bitcoin. This was a very Bitcoin heavy cycle from 23, 24 up and just until recently in the last 3 months, it started kind of leaning towards Ethereum finally and altcoins. But no, and I think you have a good strategy, man. I mean, we always recommend the course just because you learn the rest of the market and you know what's going on. And one thing is like we don't disappear. All our competition, we barely had any, but any competition in terms of teaching people about crypto, the minute the bull market was over, they fucked off. And we stayed with our guys the entire time. We came here on Fresh and Fit when the prices were going down, when they were going up, when they were stagnant like this, because we don't abandon our guys. And we're trying to we've tried to get many people.
Miguel, hold on. You're being too nice about this, bro. You obviously got some money. You know your way around the thing, but you don't know anything about cryptocurrency. You trade a whole other commodity. Get on the fucking course. It's $1,000. That's nothing for you.
No,
clearly,
you're right, though.
Clearly in this phone call, if clearly in this, hold on, yo, why do you guys fucking talk when I talk? Be quiet, bro. Hold on. Pay attention. Okay. You're not a know-it-all. You don't know everything. Clearly, these guys just educated you on something that you don't know that you thought you knew. Okay. And a lot of the times, people don't spend money and they don't realize what they don't know. It costs you to not know the things you think you know or what you think you might know. So these guys know what it is, man. So you want to go ahead and get into cryptocurrency? They just gave you a bunch of value just now within 7 minutes or something like that. So get in the course, bro. You got the money to do it. Get in. They'll help you. Even if you're someone that only buys Bitcoin and Ethereum like I do, which is what I do as well. These guys are going to be able to help you with that and help you strategize to, maximize what you got. And then also educate you to maybe, hey, here, you could take some risk here. You could do that. But you get this type of, hands-on stuff at an even higher level at the course. And I'm telling you to do it because you obviously aren't a brokey. So don't be a fucking retard. Get in and learn something.
All right, man. Well, thank you guys for content and everything. You guys are part of the routine and everything. So, yeah, I appreciate it for all you guys do and everything. So, take care, man.
No worries, man.
All right, man.
Thank you, man. Yeah, and good question. And one thing we tell people, right? If you're brand new to crypto, the crypto mindset's a great way to kind of go into a couple week boot camp to really understand the space from scratch, and then you become basically the predominant crypto knowledge person in your local area, or at least within your group of friends, family, people that you know. And then if you're like this guy, like understanding different parts of cryptocurrency, but you have some maybe holes in your game here and there, we fill that area with that knowledge that you're seeking there, and then you can make a better informed decision. So we have had a lot of people, even within the crypto industry, that have been different hedge funds or different projects, that they're like, well, I'll save time researching and I'll get different information. If I come into the course, maybe they only find 20% new information for them, but that 20% is it's kind of like they're panning for gold, right? Mm-hmm. They're like, oh shit, they did some research that we didn't do, and that gives them an idea to kind of move forward on. So we cater to both the people who are brand new, we get them in very well, as well as people who are experienced. They always learn something new with us.
All right. Yeah, no, man. And obviously he knows his way around, but he understands traditional markets. He doesn't understand the crypto market. Correct. So that's why people got to get in with you guys. You know what I mean?
Crypto markets and traditional markets are extremely different.
Completely
different.
That's why he's holding on so hard to the Ethereum and Bitcoin, because that's like the stable stuff that he's like, because he's used to the traditional markets. But, I think you guys did a great job of kind of like letting him know, like, hey, this is what it is. Who's up next?
Yes.
And then we'll be on for how much longer do you want to go?
30 minutes.
All right.
Okay.
Or until we run out callers. Yeah. Guys, today.
Well, I don't know how long Charlie and Miguel have.
Okay. Yeah.
We're good. We're good with as long as you guys are.
All right.
All right. We have 5353. You are up. 5353. You are up. 5353.
All right.
5353.
Hello?
Going to.
Oh.
We got you, bro.
Ooh, I was about to. Wait, he just left. He just left. Okay. All right. Probably got no signal. 2642, you are up. 2642, you are up.
Hey, can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, we got you.
Hey, my name is Brian. I spoke to Charlie and Miguel back in June, back when you were pushing to buy Sui. I didn't end up buying, but I spoke to Miguel. We shot the shit for like half an hour about just like landscape.
Let me ask you, hold on. Did you buy the course?
No.
This nigga's a window shopper, bro.
Window shopper.
Yeah. Waste 30 minutes of Miguel time. You didn't even get on the course, bro.
Guys, by the way, 50 Cent is in Miami tonight at 11. Your favorite club, and then tomorrow Vendome. But caller, man, come on, what you doing, bro? Come on, man.
No, I'm not.
Window shopper.
Bro, I'm not a cheapskate. Like, I'm not a cheapskate, bro.
You definitely are.
I'm sorry. Look.
Well, I want to hear what he has to say, though.
That's the right question. How you know that song?
Well, no, I mean, well, I apologize, guys. I don't mean to be a dick.
No, you're perfectly fine. This is just like normal banter. You're good. No problem.
So I currently hold about 30 Solana. I bought, I think it was about 150 a coin, sometime last year in April. I want to take some of that money out and put it back into my business. Really all of it. I just don't know if it'd be a good time to sell my Solana right now to do that.
In my opinion, I mean, Solana, what it's done for about the last month or so, it was basically in this range between 130 to 180 for a long time, and it started breaking above 190 and then 200, and then now over the last month or so, it's been slowly creeping up to about that $240, $250 range. And then the question is, why is that? And that's because Galaxy Digital and a lot of these companies are starting to be like, okay, Bitcoin is already bought by Wall Street. Ethereum is now being bought aggressively by Wall Street. The next one up on the docket is Solana. So there's some people on Wall Street that are kind of front running what the rotation will be from Ethereum to Solana. So I think Solana is in a very, very healthy spot right now. And if Bitcoin goes to new all-time highs within the next 3 to 4 months, then you're going to see Solana head towards about $400, $420 is the next target. And I think this cycle it can get my three targets for kind of good, better, best on prices: 420, 660, and then about $900 Solana. Those three prices are kind of your good, better, best over the next 6 months. So I think it's in a good spot right now. If you're holding it, you're good. And then
it's around the corner, literally.
Yeah,
with Solana.
And then the other thing to look at is what you want to use it for, right? So if you want to use it for your business, and let's say, for example, let's say you have $10,000 in it or whatever it is, right? Just random number.
He's got 7,000 right now.
Oh, he said 7,000.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll round it up to 10,000 just for easy numbers, right? So let's say you have $10,000 in Solana right now, but you only need 5,000, right? For whatever you want to use in your business. It's okay to take out a little early and take some profit, secure that for your business, because obviously your business is what's going to make you a lot of money in the long term, and then leave some in the market. But if there's ever a price where it gets like a lot of money for you and you're like, oh shit, I really need this, then it's okay to take it. If you could have made more, that's an opportunity cost, but it's not a real cost of doing business there.
Because like short term, right? Like we believe at the very least that we think Solana could get to like $400. It could go even high as 600, depending on how hyped the ETF is, and if the market's with the interest rate cuts and Bitcoin going to a higher price, as well as Ethereum cracking $5,000, it could do $400 to $600. You're going to be playing around with somewhere like 12,000 to like 20 grand, basically, on that capital, and that would be a better time to pull out because that's probably the yearly high. But at the end of the day, look, it's your coins. Do whatever you want. If you want to sell them. But like, the way I would play it is like, if like I would set a limit of $200. If for some reason the market's crashing and you see Solana hitting 200 and it's going below 200, you sell it there. You're only risking $1,000 for it going to 200 from the current price.
Yeah.
So because you have $7,000, right? And if it, let's just say we start crashing. Let's just say we start crashing. Shit. Sell at 200. You only lost $1,000 to see what if. But if it keeps running and it keeps going, you now the upside is just so much higher than your downside because you're capping your downside at like a $1,000 loss to it could double or maybe even do like a 2.5x or something like that. So you can make 14,000 instead of 7,000. That's the upside is the upside of just waiting to see a month or two is so much higher than the $1,000 losses. But you have to you have to be like, all right, if it hits 200, I'm gonna take profit just because I need the cash, whatever. But you have but then you have to sit there and not cry later on when the price runs up and be like, oh fuck, I wish I didn't sell for my business. But like sometimes, as a man, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, man. So there you go.
All right, let's go to the super chats. Thanks for calling in, bro.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
All right, yeah, we're gonna and guys, if you want to cut the line to call in, we're gonna read super chats now. Number calls to the show 646-490-0394. Put the last 4 digits of your number if you want to cut. But we want to prioritize the guys that are super chatting in. First.
All right, what's the first chat?
And guys, look, obviously, you don't want to. You guys want to be sure when whenever you buy something or whatever. But this guy had the opportunity to get in before, didn't take the opportunity. Now he's like, oh well, this is my position here. It's like, bro, you could have made a bunch of money if you had just taken action. I get it. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to pull the trigger, but a lot of times, bro, if you don't invest in yourself, you're not going to make any money.
But we've done this actual video multiple times on the channel.
Bro, and then every time people get fear of missing out, oh, damn, I missed out, oh, damn. Like, if people had just listened to us last year, they would have made money. If they listened to us the year before, they would have made even more money. If they listened to us the year before that, they would have made even more.
They always say, I wish I got the course. Some people at least.
Every time, bro.
And it's like the same thing. So just, guys, get in the course, man. Learn from Charlie Miguel. We learn as well from them. We win as well with them, of course.
Yeah, man, you got to take who dares wins, bro. That's really what it comes down to. Let's see what we got here. Shots at 3 Ridiculous says, Miguel, Angel Charles, is your AVAX forecast still 600 for the bull run, or has that changed?
Okay.
AVAX. So, I'm just gonna pull up the chart real quick so I can be accurate for you guys. So right now AVAX is $33.83. Clip it.
Someone
And
said they made 350K in 4 months. Wow.
There you go.
Sorry, go ahead, Charlie.
See, people only harp on, saying random shit, but the winners, they win in the chat, bro. So
yeah, I mean, one of the things I was just thinking that we should probably do when we come back on the channel next time is just go back over the last 2 years of different shows we've done together. Have some of our editors and stuff clip the different stuff that we've been talking about for you guys at good prices, and then show you where it's at now because things have gone up pretty well. But anyways, AVAX here is at $33.85 right this moment. So you have an opportunity here. The 0.382 Fibonacci retracement from the top of the last bull market to the bottom is at $61. So that's where it's going to go next if Bitcoin goes to a new all-time high. That's the only caveat, right? The next, if it gets an extra bullish move, the next move above that is $94. So I think AVAX can get to $100 this year if Bitcoin gets above 130,000. Now, the end of bull market targets, if we keep getting the move into next year and we get Bitcoin, let's say, well above 180,000, the 1.618 extension on the last, basically top of bull market to bottom of bear. So if you know what Fibonacci extensions are, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, get in the course. We have a whole webinar on technical analysis for beginners, and we do have stuff for more advanced people too. But the first fib extension is $232. So if AVAX, if Bitcoin gets past like $200,000, I believe it can get there. The crazy price for AVAX would be like 370. I think beyond there, it probably doesn't go much beyond there. But the price where I'm like, I know AVAX will definitely go to within this cycle, as long as Bitcoin hits new all-time highs, is at least 94. So that's a 3x on your money just from where we are now. So what strategy do you do for that? You buy AVAX now, right? You let it go up to $94. You can take 1/3 out or 2/3 out, right? And have your original capital back. Well, let's say you take 2/3 out. You take your original capital back times 2. Great. Now you have let's say you put $1,000 in. So you took out what do you call it, $2,000 out of the market. You still have $1,000 of AVAX at $94 AVAX. Let's say then AVAX goes up to that crazy price that I said of about 370. Let's round it up to 400. That's a 4x on your 1,000. So now you've made $4,000 more dollars in a very low risk strategy. And in total, roughly speaking, I'm not doing the exact math here, but on the first one you took $2,000, the next one you took 4,000, and then maybe you had a little bit extra along the way, or maybe a little bit less. But you're basically getting about, I would say, with that strategy, if those prices hit at those different moments, you're getting about $5,000 as your high end move, maybe a little bit more, and then as your low end move for a 2x, if it does that at least. You're getting basically $1,000 of profit, which is the cost of the course, right? So I think if you buy AVAX and you hold it into the end of the year or beginning of next year, you're going to pay for the Q4 course, and you're going to make profit if you're putting in about that much capital. And if you're putting in more, even better. But AVAX, those are my price targets for AVAX for that.
Exactly. And then just because, and we know 3 Diglets, but as an example, like we usually get asked, so after we buy the all-time lows of Bitcoin, right, in 22 and very early 27, in 2023, right, the alts are completely destroyed. I mean, they're literally at the all-time lows, from XRP, Crow token, Solana, everything is dirt cheap. So we're on YouTube and people ask us, like, what do you think is the most crackhead all-time high you could possibly think of? All right, let me see. If everything went good, yeah, it's possible you could get to 600. Right, but we tell people, hey, these are like moon math, like crazy, like if it got the ETF, which it's going to get an ETF, it's going to get purchases, like major institutions are buying it. It goes up to like 12th, 15th in the coin market cap rankings or higher, and it just basically goes. It becomes like it becomes like AVAX season. It could reach those prices, but as the cycle continues on, he's like, okay, we have to get real here. What's like. We can only do what the cycle gives us. So, those are just like, wouldn't it be cool? Like, what is the highest price you could ever think? Like Solana, I was saying so early on, Solana, it's still possible Solana could hit $1,000, but we need Bitcoin to hit 200 grand higher, right? Like but like you don't pin all your hopes on like, it's, one coin at this price. No, you try to get your multiples, and then at some point, like, okay, we're getting a little long in the tooth here. Fuck, we're starting to get into 26. I'm up a lot of money. Let me take some money off the table. That's the smart thing to do. And if it does hit that point, hell yeah, you still have coins and you take profits, right? But the problem people have is like they hear one number and they're like, they put all their money into one coin. And AVAX is a great coin, so that's fine. You're doing okay.
It's like literally you're on roulette and you're going all in
on 17,
on red, or all in on 17, or all in on black, whatever it is, right?
And when 17 doesn't hit and it hits 0. Fuck, it's your guys' fault, dudes. You asked me, all right, Miguel, give me your most crackhead, like, what is the high? Because during the bottom of the market, right, we got only the people who are buying these coins at the all-time lows, and it's a 2-year ride to get to here, from 23 to 25, 2 years of waiting in profits, doing very well. But people like to ask, like, hey, I'm buying this coin. It's dirt cheap right now. Where do you think it can go to maximum? I'm like, well, okay, if everything goes well. But like, even for me, like, I went viral on a video because I said, what's the most crackhead price on Ethereum you think you could reach the cycle? I said 27 grand.
And then we were saying crackhead numbers, but yeah, I mean, what we see with people, we kind of know the psychology of the market, how they take our information. And one thing we tell people is we kind of jostle them up and we say, try to listen to what we're saying, not only hear what you want to hear, hear the information between, and the best webinar that we make sure to give everybody within the first section of webinars in the crypto mindset course is our risk management webinar. We actually have the guy who does our risk management webinar. He's actually a risk management professional. He was working as a C-level board within a company in the UK that had like a multinational company across borders, and he did risk management for that company to make sure that they were basically doing their finances correctly. And we hired that guy and we said, hey, can you come over here, help us do some risk management on chain data, stuff like that. And his name's TA on chain, and awesome guy. So we have professionals, we have guests come in and make sure to give you guys a good information. So first goal, don't lose money. Second goal, make money.
Yeah.
All right, and you're right. We got somebody in the line.
Myron and Fresh are right. People just want to hear what they want to hear. They want the best outcome always, but sometimes that doesn't happen. You have to just be realistic. and then make a plan and then re-up again.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let's go into. We got a phone call here, and then
Yes.
some chats after that.
6443, you're up. 6443.
6443. Hit us with your question, please.
What's up, gentlemen? Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, Brett. I want to say, give my flowers to Charlie and Miguel. This is Suki, the photographer. I had put a little money into Sui this the last time you guys were on the podcast, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try it, and you know, I made a few $100s, so I appreciate y'all.
Let's go.
For giving me that little.
Thank you, man.
So I
we
rock with
appreciate
y'all.
you too, man.
Hey, I'm gonna try to join the course this time. I got some free time. I got a little bit more capital, so yeah, I'm gonna rock with y'all. Try to make some money out of this shit, dude. So I appreciate y'all. Keep doing what you got to do. And you know, that other caller didn't get it. He just didn't get the concept of buy low, sell high. I just don't fucking get it. But hey, love y'all, boys.
You know, it's funny because he balked at the buying Sui, the last guy that called.
Yeah.
And he missed the opportunity. You made some money, and I'm sure if you didn't probably put too much money in, but if you put more, you would have made more. So no, man, I'm glad that you made some, and you know, sometimes seeing is believing. So we hope to see you on the other side with the court. When does this thing close, Charlie Miguel?
Yeah, when does it close?
So it will close at the end of next week.
Okay.
Okay.
And Charlie and Miguel will be in studio Monday. They'll be in studio
We'll be live Money Monday, you guys.
and we're gonna be live for Money Monday. And we're gonna also do same thing.
So
call in, everything else like that.
Just to recap, guys, Monday and Friday is gonna be Money Mondays, basically on Fresh and Fit.
Yeah.
Monday and Fridays.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
If not, we do a different show.
Yeah, or like we start off with Money Mondays on Friday and then call in and go into dating and stuff. But yeah, go ahead, bro. What do you finish up what you're gonna say, and then we got to go next person.
I got you. Charlie, Miguel, can I still schedule that consultation with y'all? Because I got to figure out where my money's going to go, bro. Just need some help.
Yeah.
Can I still do that with y'all?
Man. You know how to reach us.
Yeah, just
I appreciate y'all, gentlemen. Love y'all, boys. Stay safe tonight, and I'll talk to y'all soon.
All right, man.
bro.
Thank you, man.
Fire photographer.
Who's up next? Or should we read chats?
One more. Chats.
We'll do chats, then we'll go back to the lines.
And then one more.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Guys, I don't think we're going to have after hours tonight. That's what me and Fresh were kind of talking about on the side here.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is I'll just do the debrief right after this. I'm going to cover 9/11. So come on over. It'll be a night train, I guess.
But
yeah.
next week we should have 3 shows next week.
Yeah, Chris Bum.
Chris promised.
Just
so.
put L. Chris in chat. Yeah, anyway.
Yo, you know what's funny? Okay, I know the chat roast me all the time, right? But what's funny is that they're like, yo, Fresh, please come back. Please come back. I was like, what the fuck? Y'all niggas fucked up, man.
Fresh, when's your next 305 podcast?
On Tuesday, we got Sam Jones, the third from Smallville, and as well Blue Mountain State coming for a show. And then on after, actually, we'll talk about our Fresh and Fit next.
Yeah, we got Woman Propaganda in town next week, too.
Yeah.
So we got an action-packed week for y'all next week, bro.
Stack week.
So we'll make up for it, and just put L. Chris when you guys see him next week. But yeah, who's? Let me see these chats right here. Okay, first caller. Oh yeah, that's probably him.
Castle Club.
Yeah, I'm an angry. Yeah, facts.
Bitcoin is the only coin you should get.
Hey Charlie, and it's crazy because he calls every show, bro. Why do you watch? Hey Charlie, I have 3,700 Sonic, 700 Sui, 3,000 Cronos, and 3,000 Doge.
Sheesh.
Is this good in your opinion, or should I focus a little more on another? Also, is there going to be a crypto discount when you buy another course?
I'm trying to look here. Okay, now it came up on my screen. I'll pause that here. So 30, and I'm assuming these are dollar amounts. So $3,700. Oh, thank you for putting that up. $3,700 in Sonic, 700 in Sui, 3,000 Cronos, 3,000 Doge. Yeah, that's a good. Because here's the thing, right? Sui, this one's outpaced Bitcoin for the last 365 days. It's doing very well. Cronos has all that money coming in from the Trump group. And then Doge here is one that every single cycle always performs. And so, I think that's a good portfolio. I'd say Sonic is probably the laggard right now of that group. But once it gets past about 36 cents on a weekly close or two, then Sonic should be off to the races too. Yeah. So everything's looking pretty good there.
They're working on an ETF and they're moving their headquarters to New York. So they're going to have a listing on the NASDAQ pretty soon. So they're working on a big. So basically, all crypto. I mean, if they have money, they're relocating to the stateside. So shout out to Trump, man. Like we finally got rid of Gary Gensler and we're finally becoming a crypto nation.
And shout out Shadow Exchange.
Yeah, well, shout out to Shadow, man.
Yeah, DeFi Exchange on Sonic there, looking good.
And nobody sausage.
Yeah.
I should make a coin called Darkness. Okay, well, what's that, caller? Who's next?
Funny.
All right. Next, you want the caller or?
Yeah, caller.
You want the caller? Okay, cool. Yes, there he is. 1327, you're up. 1327, you are up.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Doing good, bro. Answer your question.
So my question wants to revolve around more so what your guys' take is on the cycle itself. So there's a lot of chatter about extended cycle, super cycle, and I'm just like, okay, there comes the this time is different thing, and I'm just like not buying it. And people keep making all these arguments and points to it, and to me, it's like we couple weeks of maybe some chop and downside a little bit, and then it's up only October, November, December, and lights out. That's my theory. Want to know what you guys think? I mean, every time they do massive rate cuts, it's always followed by a pretty drastic bear market with an average drawdown in the stock of 40% of the S&P. So I want to know where you guys stand, because this to me is like the most important part, of the whole cycle.
Yeah. So no, I think your thought process is good, right? So I think you're thinking in the right mode. You're like, okay, we're getting towards the later part of the 4-year cycle. We're looking for an area to take profits. If it's in Q4, maybe it's sometime around Thanksgiving to early December. That's what it was last year.
Yeah.
So it could very well happen again. I think that's a possibility for sure.
A little after the rate cut in October.
Right.
Like yeah.
Right. If they did like a 50 basis point cut in October or something like that, that could happen. There's a tool that you can go on this website called, let me get the actual website for you. So it's called bitcoinmagazinepro.com. Go to their chart section and then go to golden ratio multiplier. We talk about this on my show, so you can go to Cultivate Crypto on YouTube, watch my show. I talk about this pretty frequently as well. You come in the course, we talk about it. It has two extensions off the 350-day moving average for Bitcoin. One of those is a 1.618, and that's a green line, and then there's one that's a red line. Those two areas have tended to coincide with macro tops. So if we get a speculative move and Bitcoin's there, and we're starting to get a lot of signals that it's kind of topping, then that should help you to consider that within there. I think it's very possible that this bleeds into next year. So to answer your question directly for the 4-year cycle, there's a very simple misunderstanding that a lot of people in crypto have about 4-year cycles that they just simply don't understand. So I mentioned this a little bit earlier in the show, but I'll mention the details here, right? Which is cycles, first and foremost, are not determined by their highs. They're determined in time by their lows. So cycles for crypto go from low to low. And for Bitcoin, that's tended to be 3 years and 11 months. We say 4-year cycles because it's about 4 years. So the cycle won't determine exactly where the high happens, but it will determine where the low happens. So let's kind of work backwards on this problem, right? Let's go to where the next low is expected. So the bottom of the next bear market. We haven't even hit the top of the bull market. We're still talking about the bottom of the next bear market for Bitcoin, right? That should, if it follows exactly the 4-year cycle, be in about the middle of October next year, right? So sometime between now and that time, we'll have a top, and then we'll have a pretty big downtrend into that. I think about 70% down for Bitcoin from wherever its top ends up being. Now, for cycles, the lows have a little bit of grace, right? So it doesn't have to be exactly 3 years and 11 months. Excuse me, I have a little bit of a cold. Or it doesn't have to be exactly 4 years. It can be a little bit more or a little bit less. So I would say the grace period for the low for Bitcoin next year will be Q4, the whole entirety of Q4. So that would be October to about maybe into Q1 of 27, which would be January. So that's where the low should come in. So now the question then becomes, where does the high come in? Well, the cycle won't determine where the high comes in. So you have to use these other tools and analysis. We have an extension on this course called the Take Profits course, where we explain this in a lot of depth, but I'm just kind of giving you the too long didn't read version here, right? So let's just give two scenarios. Let's give your scenario where Bitcoin hits a top in December, definitely could.
Yep.
And then let's say we have a different scenario with a top in, let's say, March of next year, right? March of 2026. So how does that affect the difference in what kind of bear market we get for Bitcoin? And whatever bear market we get for Bitcoin determines the bear market we get for all of crypto, right? If we have that top in December, then we kind of get more of what we usually have gotten for a bear market, which is almost a full calendar year of top to bottom down, right? 70% roughly for Bitcoin, right?
9 months of shit.
That would be what everybody normally expects. Wall Street has thrown a few wrenches in the tapestry of crypto this cycle, so I would not be surprised if they ran it up a little harder, a little longer than people expect. I don't believe in super cycles at all. I don't think that's a thing. I think we are still within the 4-year cycle.
Tears coming down my face right now.
Unfortunately, I wish we were in a super cycle. I really do.
I know.
But even if we got a high,
I actually don't.
Well, yeah, I mean,
because it's never happened. It's never happened.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so, if we get the high in February or March, sorry, which is what I said of next year, right? Does that mean the 4-year cycle is broken? Absolutely not. The only thing that means is we're going to actually get more than likely a shorter timing of bear market. So that would mean that we would have a top in March, and then October to December would be the period that you look for that low. And so you're getting about a 6-month or so bear market instead of a full 9 months or a year bear market that we're used to in crypto.
It's still gonna be brutal. It's still gonna be brutal.
It's still gonna be brutal. And that's something that would change just slightly enough to get people off of what their usual cadence is in crypto, and that's how Wall Street can make more Bitcoin over that period of time. So, depending where the high comes in for Bitcoin in terms of time, will determine kind of the nature of the bear market. And it would be great if we only had a 6-month bear market, because then a little bit more like traditional Wall Street instruments like the S&P 500 and stuff, we would kind of go into, like, even in this bull market, for example, right? We've had down times for like 2, 3, 4 months where Bitcoin's kind of been consolidating. People kind of feel like we're in a bear market, even though we're in a bull market. We may have the same thing in the bear market where we get, like, let's say we come out of the bear market at the beginning of 27 and we get these bull moves. People feel like maybe I would say maybe like in the middle of next year, maybe people feel like, oh, we have like a bounce here and we kind of feel like we're in a bull market, but actually we're in the middle of a bear. So you might kind of have a little bit more mixture with those things. A
little echo almost.
But of course, you can put out theories and thinking and whatever you think, but you have to, what we tell people is you have to come up with your most probable scenario, your next most likely scenario, and maybe a backup scenario. Understand what's possible. Then when price and time play out, then usually what will happen is price and time will point to which scenario is actually happening. And then you can plan ahead, versus if you're not sure what's happening and you're just waiting to see what the market does and you have no strategy for that, or you have no idea of kind of where the market's going, then you're going to have a harder time taking profits. You're going to have a harder time buying the lows. So it's kind of just narrowing down the possibilities and then letting the market tell you what it wants to do with price.
And, one thing that we're concentrating on this course, especially the regular course and the cash out course, is that we're going to be taking profits this quarter, regardless. Just whenever we kind of believe
absolutely,
just because to cover our ass, we have to. Like, I'm going to take some profits. I might just like take 30% off the top of everything. Some meme coins, like very heavily. Like, I might just sell the whole stack of the meme coin, keep the majors, and then see what happens as we cross into January of 26 to see if we are getting a rebound. But that is something that we are absolutely, because we're not, like, I like that caller that called in earlier. 138, 156 is it's a 2x on $69,000 Bitcoin and a $3 trillion market cap on Bitcoin. These are potential profit-taking areas that the Bitcoin maxis that say they never sell are going to sell. Liars. And like some of the biggest meme coin buyers in the world are Bitcoiner. They're Bitcoin. Like, I've been to Bitcoin Miami. I've been to all these Bitcoin conferences. These dudes, I go to some of these conferences. They don't even talk about Bitcoin. Like, we go to these parties. Not one time they tell me to buy Bitcoin. They're talking about altcoins. The entire after party, everyone all on alcohol is like, so, hey, what do you think about this L1? You think I should get into Solana? Like, I was talking to Gary Cardone. We're just talking about Solana.
Right.
So we're being really realistic about it.
Right?
Like, we're absolutely taking that into account, that the top could be in the next 3 months, right? So we're going to take some profits whatever the market gives us, and then we're going to reevaluate into the new year. Some people will, this is their decision. They'll sell everything. That's them. I'm just going to probably take 30% on my majors and maybe very heavily on the meme coins, just because those are very reactive and they crash pretty heavy. And then I'll readjust my portfolio or sell the rest of it off once it is cooked. Okay, fine. And then we just wait for the bottom at the end of 26 and in the beginning of 27, and then we're back in business. Let's go. Let's run it again.
Right.
All right.
Yeah. Now this is my third cycle, and I round tripped the last one. The first one, I had no idea what was happening. I just watched my portfolio multiply by 5. I went all in on Bitcoin at 3,000. I had no idea what the heck was happening. Went to 20K. And I'm just like, what is going on? And I just rode the whole thing out. And then 2021, I round tripped everything, and I had no idea. I was believing in the super cycle thing, right? But they printed $4 trillion for COVID, all that stuff, right? There's all these narratives.
Capital was like the
and not happening again, man. Not happening again. I mean, I'm fully exposed to only basically shit coins. That's all I'm exposed to right now. And so the scary part about them is, as you guys know, is some of these coins have their own little mini cycles within the altcoin mania, which is, you don't know when that coin might top out. Like you said, meme coins, stuff like that. Meme coins can have their own little top signal. They don't have to go along with Bitcoin, right? And it's crazy. It just gets psycho.
Usually top 1 month Bitcoin tops, and then that's one third of the meme coins and altcoins and L1s. They top either 1 month, a third of them top about 1 month before Bitcoin tops, and then most of them, like Ethereum, top about 1 to 3 months after a Bitcoin and Ethereum top. Usually, and most of them is really between the first month and the second month that it happens. That's why, like, me and Charlie were making money deep into like March, April 1st, cycle over. April of 22, it was done. It was cooked. But we were making money in January, February, March and stuff. But we had told our guys to take profits and just sell everything off, other than like a couple of plays that we were in, just because like interest rates started going up. So we were like, fuck, interest rates are going up. It's time to get out, And then the cycle was pretty cooked from there.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's gonna be a fun, wild ride, man. All the metrics that are in place right now, as far
Get
as
in the course, brother. We'll talk about it, man. We take
hold on, caller.
Are live.
Caller, are you in the course?
What's that?
Are you in the crypto course?
No, I'm not in the course.
What are you doing, bro?
You
what, dude? It's right in front of you. The info's there for you to win.
These guys personally,
huh?
But I didn't know about this course because this is my first time calling in. And
I call it. Here's the game plan.
I don't normally watch.
Right now,
links in the description.
Click the link, get the course,
pin in the comments,
and win. This is the year to win, bro. Before this shit hits the fan, you want to be in the winning circle. Trust me. 100%, bro.
All we do is crypto. Absolutely. There's nothing else. All we do is crypto. We focus on one market: crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum. That's it. There's no we do stocks and we do options and we short and we leverage trade. No, crypto. That's it. One thing.
No leverage. No
leverage. We don't leverage. We don't
no 100x leverage. Oh man.
What? You got a ref link, bro?
Dude, well, that's what I was hoping you guys had.
No, sir. We have never done a ref link for any of these leverage exchanges. Absolutely zero of them, because we just don't. We're not proponents of that.
Yeah.
It's
MetaMask wallet today, and now, well, not they didn't announce. They put it on GitHub. That they're going to put perpetual instruments, which are just basically leverage trading from Hyperliquid onto MetaMask. That's going to wreck so many people because it's going to make it so easy to do. I do not think that's a good thing. Will it make MetaMask and Consensus a lot of money? Absolutely. Yeah. Will it wreck a lot of plebs? Absolutely. So,
everybody's riding on hype train right now. That's why they're seeing how much money hype's making.
This is actually something that
I'm so pissed. I missed hype. I really am. I think that was the coin of this cycle, honestly. But I don't know if it's too late to get in hype or not. I think it's still got some upside from here, but for this cycle. But it's definitely going to be a buyer on the bottom of the bear. That's for sure.
Have you heard about a star or Aster?
Yeah, that. So there's I've heard about Aster. I'm actually watching it right now. I got it chartered and everything. And
we talked about it on my show.
Which came out APX and MYX. I don't know what's going on with BNB. I don't know what they're doing over there.
BNB is going up. CZ's back. CZ's back to being CEO, and Binance International is probably going to get regulated by the United States and be allowed for U.S. citizens in the next year or two. But Aster is basically the hyperliquid of the Binance side. It's kind of like a B level hyperliquid, but it's in an earlier stage. 2 days ago, when I was talking about it on my show, it was 48 cents. Currently, it's 96 cents. So if you were watching the show and you got in on the bridge that we were talking about, you doubled your money there. So there's a lot of opportunities like that that will be coming up. So jump in the course and we'll definitely help you.
And there's one more player jumping in. Flying Tulip from Sonic is about to go live as well. So there's going to be like 3 big players. Aster for BNB. There's going to be Hyperliquid, which is allied itself with essentially Ethereum, because MetaMask is Consensus. Consensus is owned by Joe Lubin, who is the co-founder of Ethereum, and like Consensus is about to go public next year in 2026. This is why like MetaMask launched their own stablecoin. They also launched, this. They're basically finding way. All these exchanges are coming out with credit cards now, and are basically trying to like create all this thing because they're basically all about to go public. So like this is why we're a little more confident in 26, but we're being careful basically. But yeah, great caller. Thank you for the question, brother, and I'll see you in the course. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
All right, we'll do some chats here as well, and then
don't close out.
Castle Club member, shout out to you, bro. Thanks to FNF for motivating me to get better my work status and to stop being poor, hooking me up with the good knowledge from Crypto Mindset. Shout out to you. Of course, in February 2024, I haven't worried about money ever since. No one else provides the value like these 4 guys. I show my thanks by introducing both channels to people every day. You have changed my life. El Chris the alcoholic. El Chris.
Yeah. Well, some bitch ass nigga in the chat said we're getting lazy, bro. We're not getting lazy. We stream now more than ever, bro. There's no one else that puts out more content than we do, bro. It doesn't even come close. Even when these guys do these marathon streams, they do it for like a week or 2,
and they take long breaks,
and then they take long ass breaks. They'll get off air for weeks. So we never ever take breaks ever.
You could tune in every week and catch us at least 5 times a week.
Yeah,
minimum.
At least, bro. So,
at least.
That's
not true.
Not even close. But yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, L fucking Chris, sup Gordo, what's good Bills, W Charlie, Miguel, the OSS commander in the darkest night. Showing love. And freshest coin should be called Black Coin. Okay.
Yeah, they had Pug Coin, Dark Coin, Darkness.
Yeah.
The Dark Coin. Yeah.
And just so you guys know, this channel, bro, at least for the next few months, guys, like the next month or 2, is going to be basically a financial channel, Fresh and Fit, and then we're going to do obviously after hours and all the other stuff
on Rumble.
It's going to be on Rumble because you know how YouTube is. So it is what it is, unfortunately. So, all right. It's crazy. Caller didn't understand the concept of buy low, sell high. Yeah, dude.
Bro. Insane.
These guys, man.
Yeah. And then they don't respect, like, and I understand, like, Bitcoin over time is just worth more and more and more money, but people just don't respect that. Like, people just, like people are very, I mean, like, if you help someone make 10,000, 100,000 for the first time in their life, that's life-changing money. Mm-hmm. And that allows them to get to the next level or level up or start a business. You need that capital. It's like, you're not really going to make that kind of money in stocks unless you're just in stocks for years and years and years and you're already making a lot of money. But you can make a lot of money pretty quickly in crypto, but you just got to take advantage of it. And you know, at some point you can't get greedy anymore. You got to take some out and stuff. So, but that's why we're here for our guys. And we're going to be gone for the whole month of October. For the entire month of October, we're going to be teaching classes for the entire month. Like, we're not going to even be on YouTube. So that's how much we literally stop YouTubing, and we're only teaching our students where they have access to us 24 hours a day. And we're literally teaching classes 8 hours a day live, like just like this, live in person. And everyone, we have AMAs after like a 3-hour class. We end up having like a 1-hour AMA with everybody after every single class we have. So no one does that. That's why we have taught the most amount of students of anybody in crypto when it comes to the courses and stuff.
Over 18,000.
Yep.
Over 18K. All right. Is it the last one?
Bills for McDonald's 1 billion. Huh?
Yeah, 1 billion very soon.
All right, we got some more chats here. Let's see. Dominican_UD says, ETH update. Like, how is it going to be in the coming weeks?
Can you say that one more time?
He says, ETH update. How will it be in the coming weeks?
Okay. Yeah, so Ethereum's in a pretty good spot right now. I'm just going to pull it up on my side so I give you guys accurate stuff. Right now, Ethereum is $4,467. Basically, the line in the sand for Ethereum on weekly closes. So for when you look at the charts, daily, weekly, and monthly closes are pretty significant for most of crypto. On the weekly close, and some of this information I do from what we have as a Cultivate Crypto algo. It's an algo we made in-house that gives buy and sell signals on different assets. For Ethereum, there is a pivot point of essentially $4,400. If Ethereum has basically last week it closed above there. This week it looks like it's closing above there. We have a day and 22 hours before that happens. If it closes above 4,400 again this week, and then next week we get another green candle, then pretty much at the end of the month going into early October, we'll see Ethereum go above $5,000. If it can make it above $5,000, then it's on the road to about $7,300, $7,500 sometime at the end of Q4 or sometime in Q1. So that's where Ethereum's headed. If Ethereum does get, let's say, a couple weeks below 4,400, then it might drop, down towards like 4,000 or a little bit lower for a temporary period, recover, and then attempt to go to that 7,500, 7,500 over time. But yeah, Ethereum's knocked on the $5,000 door within this cycle twice at about $4,800. So getting close. And it just needs Bitcoin to go to basically a new all-time high. Right now, Bitcoin is 115,670. If Bitcoin gets 3 daily closes in the next, let's say, 1 week to 10 days above $17,500, that will be the signal that Bitcoin is going to go to a new all-time high. I did an episode on my channel yesterday about that. If you guys want the details to that, go to Cultivate Crypto on YouTube, as well as Dollar Cost, of course. We do free information on there every single day. But if that happens and Bitcoin goes to new all-time high, then Ethereum will head to that 5,000. So everything's looking pretty good. Everything's in the right position. And that's kind of the current lay of the land for both of those coins.
Yeah.
All right.
And $5,200 is the level I'm watching for Ethereum personally, because if we can keep that level, we're going to get a nice Ethereum run and we get a nice alt run, but we need Ethereum to be at a level where, like, even with a dip, it'll stay above its $4,800 all-time high from the previous cycle,
right,
and stuff. So like that's enough margin of error there that we're like, oh shit, it's cooking now. We're all time, and then bam, it's kind of like wherever it goes, it goes. It could just like pop off because interest rate cuts and stuff. It could just pop off to $8,000. It seriously could. That's how fast it goes, because once it's at 5,000, it's kind of like there's no more ceiling anymore. It's kind of just like how Bitcoin, like once it passed 69,000, 70, 80, 90, kept testing, and then wow, we're now at like 115. It's so fast when it happens. But we're going to be careful with our guys, and we're going to be watching the markets and stuff. So definitely profit taking.
Gotcha. All right. What's the next one? Sandy Balls. Credit cards to fund your Coinbase account. Beginning this fall, you'll be able to use Chase credit cards to fund your Coinbase account.
Yeah.
In 2006, you'll be able to redeem Chase Ultimate Rewards points to fund your Coinbase account for the first time. Points from a major credit card rewards program will be redeemable for crypto rewards. Pretty much, you'll be able to directly link your Chase account to Coinbase. Chase customers will be able to seamlessly link their bank accounts to Coinbase for another fast, easy way to buy crypto, in addition to all of our existing integrations.
Yeah, they just did this. So basically, Visa, you're now allowed to use Chase Visa credit cards to buy crypto through Coinbase and some of these other exchanges.
That's scary, though. That's scary.
Please don't do it. Please don't do it. Don't use
scary.
credit cards to buy crypto. But if you have credit card points, yeah, use the points to buy crypto. That's cool. I mean, that's already money you've already earned already on your credit card. But like, don't go into debt this late in the cycle
to buy now.
Like use cash, available cash and stuff like that if you want to get into the market. But we don't recommend credit cards at all. Like the reason they're doing it is because they're trying to like, okay, we need money. Retail needs money, so let's let them use the credit cards so they can pump the bag so they can take profits on them. So like
basically buy now, pay later.
Yeah.
Yeah, bad idea.
Yeah.
Don't want to get into debt on a speculative asset.
Yeah, who would have thought layaway for crypto is crazy? All right, what's the next one? Yeah, don't do that, fellas. That is financial suicide at best. Clifton Hawley says, shout out to the meme season. Pepe, Shiba Inu, and XRP able to surprise a lot of people. All right.
Yeah, I hope it does. I mean, I'm glad they finally made some money recently because like they had kind of a 6-year sort of slump where like they weren't doing very much, but like I hope the higher it goes, the better, I guess. But and then the ISO coins will finally run and stuff as well. They run pretty close to like XRP, but there's going to be some heavy market selling from some of the larger players. So like that's why I've tempered my price expectations on XRP a little bit, just because like these players are going to cash out big on the coins and stuff, especially like if these holders have been holding since 16 or even before that. XRP is a pretty old coin, so there's some people have bags of that coin that they got for nothing. Yeah.
What's the next one? Botello says, "Hey bro, what's price prediction for CZ's Aster? I sized in at 68 cents."
Okay.
Yeah, I would say it's very, very early days. This coin has literally been out since the 17th, so 2 days old.
2 days
right?
old.
So we know exactly where this coin's going. No, like when you get a new coin on the market like this, one thing we talked about on our stream yesterday is we're getting a little bit of this what we call copycat season, where what is Aster trying to do? They're trying to go and take Hyperliquid's market share a little bit, and by having some of that market share, they're going to grow towards the same kind of trajectory that Hyperliquid did, because they're aligned with Binance, which is pretty much one of the behemoths out here, right? And Ethereum is a little bit more closely aligned with Hyperliquid. So it's okay. You have like your A and your B, your duopoly to some extent. So Aster will do well. What price is it exactly going to go to? It's way too early to tell. But it will go higher. And so just similar to what happened with Hyperliquid at the very beginning, you'll probably see a similar trajectory just in terms of, where, how price is moving. Not like it's not going to do the exact same returns as what Hype did, right? But it will go in that direction. So if you bought it at 68 cents, that was like one of the good prices from yesterday. Awesome, because it's 95 cents right now and it's still just getting started. So it's going to be cooking.
So one thing that I'm looking for, not just price wise, is this coin is basically only available like on pancake swaps. You can't really buy it on an exchange right now. You have to buy it. You have to buy BNB, buy it with Tether, and you have to know how to be on the BNB network to actually buy it on like pancake swap or on its own natural DEX. So at some point it'll get listed on Binance. Naturally it's going to get listed on Binance or maybe one of the other exchanges. I'm pretty sure CZ has the power where he talked to some of the other exchanges to not list his token until we do.
Yeah.
Or we're going to fuck you up. Some exchanges might not listen. But when it gets listed onto Binance, it's very likely that it's going to be launched with spot only, not any perps or anything like that in order to short it. Hyperliquid just did that recently just to kind of fuck them a bit. But pretty much that first initial pump that's within the first couple of days on Binance is probably going to be the local top for a little bit as people profit take, because there's a lot of people who don't know how to use crypto at all, and they only know how to log into the mobile app. So they're going to buy the coin. It's going to pump up. Let's just say it gets to $5, because right now it's at 1.6 billion, and maybe it goes to 10 billion at the top because Hyperliquid's at 15 billion, and then it'll crash down to $2. And then that'll be a more decent time to get back in at that point, because people have, you've took some profits. So watch that spike when it goes on Binance, because within a day to 3 days, that'll be the top right there. Take profits, because it's probably going to crash down. And then from there, now we know, now that it's done a top, now we can start charting a little bit and then figure out kind of like, okay, what because it's going to keep getting
usually after about 3 months of a new coin coming out, you start to have enough data on the chart itself to be able to be like, okay, this is the pattern. This is kind of where it's going. But like Miguel said, a lot of the fundamentals are absolutely vital at the very beginning. And could you mention a little bit more about so one thing we do in the Crypto Mindset course is if you've never been in a new, let's say, DeFi network, like Binance or Pulse Chain or even Ethereum, which is obviously an easy one to get into, or Sui or Solana or whatever, we teach you how to bridge and get on chain, how to be a crypto DeFi native. But can you kind of reiterate the danger for Aster? Because some people have lost some money trying to bridge over funds to BNB, because it is a little complicated. And most people, I would say, if they weren't in the course or if they haven't really studied crypto, they're probably not going to be able to do it.
So there's a lot of people on crypto Twitter complaining about bridging money from Arbitrum, which is an Ethereum L2, using USDC, and their USDC basically got stuck. So a lot of people were just like, what the hell? My money got stuck. What the hell? And they're basically trying to get their money back, which I think they will, but it's going to take a while. It's primarily being bought by either BNB token or USDT, which is Tether. So and that's the biggest stablecoin on the planet, Tether. USDC is mostly used in the in America, and in the it's also the second largest. But Tether has been around the longest, so it's the largest right now, and pretty much you use Tether to buy it, basically. So I think a safer route would probably just be buy BNB token and then basically use like PancakeSwap to kind of move around in there. But that's the whole thing, is like a lot of people don't know how to do any of that. Most people, they just know how to buy on Coinbase, and that's it. That's what we teach people.
That's why they're late to the party.
That's why they're a little late to the party. That's why like there's kind of an advantage right now, because you could buy it right now, and just because you know how to use crypto, the guy who can only buy on exchanges can't buy, so he'll end up kind of being extra liquidity for the local high when it gets listed on Binance and Coinbase and all these other exchanges. And then later on, like you have you got in before $1, and now 6 months from now it could be $25, and Hyperliquid could be like 3 times in price higher, and it's at 45 billion market cap. That's all possible. It's just we have to see what the cycle gives, but like, it's really hyped right now, and people are really excited because CZ is the Binance token hit $1,000. It launched at 10 cents back in 2017, and it's done 10,000x. And the Binance exchange is the largest exchange on the planet, and he's now back in control. He paid $4 billion in fees to the U.S. government. He spent 4 months in jail, and now he got control of his exchange, and he's out here to like pretty much fuck up any competition, basically. So that's why people are betting heavy on him, because he's hit some big winners. And this guy is one of the richest people in crypto, period. One of the most powerful as well. So that's why people are fucking with it heavy.
All right.
Yeah.
What's the next one? Ken Rose, thumbs up. Shout out to you, bro.
That's the last one.
That's the last one.
Ken Rose.
All right.
The course closes end of next week. You said.
Yeah, so Charlie Miguel will be here next week. We're gonna give you guys 3 after hours next week.
Yeah.
Chris is a bum. I'm gonna go ahead and start up a debrief right now / night train, whatever you guys want to call it. So go on over, guys, to my channel 9/11. We're gonna cover 9/11. Martin Gaines X is the YouTube channel. I don't know if I can we set up a redirect? Do you know how to do that?
Like a raid?
Yeah. You know how to do it? I'll do it real quick.
I know mine's already ready. I'm getting ready to raid.
But on YouTube, we have to do it ourselves.
Oh.
Yeah. Here, I'll show Bills how to do it real quick.
So in the meantime, Charlie Miguel, last words for people here for crypto, and of course, where they can find you guys, and of course, I guess schedule you want to put out there.
Yeah. So just kind of I'll run people through kind of what to expect going into the course, right? So just the process is, so if you go into the live chat here or into the description, you'll see the Fresh and Fit link for the Crypto Mindset course here for Q4. It'll be available until the end of next week. And after that, you're not able to enroll anymore. So it's a time-based, ending point. So get in while we're doing this, because we only do this once every 3 to 4 months. So jump in there. Once you've bought the course, you can buy it on the website with basically your credit card, PayPal credit, other things like that, whatever's available there, Apple Pay, Google Pay on mobile. But if you go to PayPal credit, I believe that'll allow you to pay in installments if you wanted to delay it over a period of time, maybe.
It's 6 payments. Yeah.
Is it 6 payments?
It's a 6 payment. They increased it from 4 to 6. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Good on PayPal for that, right? So you can go there. Once you purchase the course, within 24 hours, you will get an email from us, support@cultivatecrypto.com or charlie@cultivatecrypto.com. When you get that email, it'll have the link to get into the Telegram. Once you get into the Telegram, boom, awesome. You're in the Crypto Mindset course for Q4. Webinars will begin at the beginning of October. And we'll have, when we come on Fresh and Fit Money Monday, on Monday, we will bring along the schedule that we have planned for the Q4 and everything. So we'll go into that on detail on Monday. But generally, it's about 2.5 weeks that we do webinars. We do 15 live, 5 pre-recorded. Then we do flash webinars throughout the quarter for you guys. So for the majority of that middle of the month of October, we're supporting you guys with live webinars. We do them at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do 2 days on, then 2 days on, off, 2 days on, 2 days off. So that way you have 4 webinars at a time. So we do 4 sets of that basically. And then it gives you the time off in between to review throughout that process. And so that's generally what to expect there. In terms of the market, I believe, if Bitcoin gets above $17,500 for 2 or 3 days over the next 1 week, that means then we're mostly going up into the right until about the middle to third or so week of October. That's where we could see maybe a local top with the 60-day cycle, aka the Lucas cycles, and then we can take a little profit, shave that off, let prices come down into I would say the early part of November, and then if it's a good opportunity to get in again, we'll still be doing the course support with the chat at that time, do flash webinars throughout the quarter, and then we can get you guys in on another buy. So we have a time here to buy where the market is right now, then we have time to take profit, then we have time to buy again and set ourselves up for a good end of year. So that's the process in general that we're working through with you guys over this period. So if you get in now, you don't have to worry about forgetting or missing out on this time. And like Fresh and Myron said, we get consultations all the time. We do a consultation for an hour and a half. For us is $2,000 an hour. And so when we do those, I actually had one from the guys who saw us on the 305 podcast with GG and Fresh. And he was like, bro, like I heard what you guys were saying, a few months ago, didn't get on it. Now I've got the consultation instead to basically make up for lost time and then get on the next course. So it cost him a little bit more to do that. But that guy did have a bigger portfolio as well. So it kind of made sense for him. But it saves you a lot of time, effort, pain if you're in the course, because we basically give you the full 360 view of crypto. One last thing here from my side that I want to add is there are 3 things that you need to know to do well in crypto. It's kind of like, what's that chart where you have like 3 bubbles and like all cross in the middle? Venn diagram, exactly. So you have sorry? Go ahead. So you have fundamental analysis, technical analysis. So fundamentals is kind of what runs the what do you call it? The fundamentals of the token. How does it move? And then the charts are basically how does price action work? How does that affect some of the fundamentals back and forth? And then on-chain data is the third sector of crypto that is unique to crypto. So if you are able to understand on any given project those 3 things and where they intersect, then you're able to basically make a much better educated decision on what you're doing in crypto. And ultimately, this is an education platform that we provide for you guys. So it's a way to really understand the market and get up on it. So time's now.
Yeah. You don't take risk, you're going to take orders. That's it.
Lock in or clock in, baby.
Yep.
So we'll be back Monday, guys. Charlie and Miguel will be here in studio. We're going to do a full Money Monday with them that day. And then we're going to have Woman and Propaganda at night for the after hours with some girls. That's going to be a good time. And then Wednesday, I think we got some special guests as well. Charlie Miguel, if you guys are going to be in town on Wednesday, that we could do something then too. But yeah, guys, it's going to be a good time, man. I'm live right now up on the debrief, guys. Go to Myron Gaines X on Rumble, Kick, YouTube, etc., everywhere. Live over there right now. I'm gonna start up that show in a second. All right. So, and Fresh, you have anything you want to tell people or super chat? Oh, okay. There's one more on Rumble. Okay. I think we got one more chat. Let me make sure we don't.
Yeah, it might be under the limit. Well,
okay.
You want to read anyway?
Yeah, I guess we're reading it anyway.
What is it?
$5.
Why do you guys think about trading crypto or day trading in general? Well, I think they answered that earlier.
Yeah, very quick one. Day trading, don't do it. It's too short term, right? You're probably going to lose more than win. In terms of trading in crypto, 60-day cycles, aka Lucas cycles, are probably your best bet for swinging basically swing trading, right? So for example, Bitcoin started the current 60-day cycle at about $108,000, It's gone up for the last 2 weeks. It's at 115,000. If it continues to go up into October 1st into new highs from that point of where it started the 60-day cycle on September 1st, then what does that mean? That means you're going to go up until about the middle to third week of October. So the 16th to the 22nd, roughly speaking, is where then you would look for a local peak on Bitcoin. If that happens on Bitcoin, then a lot of coins tend to follow. So you can make some pretty educated trading decisions based on that. But I look at trading over weeks and months. It's investments are just the only difference is over years, right?
Yeah.
And so try to look at more swing trading, long-term trading. Don't do day trading, and definitely do not do leverage trading.
Yeah. Everyone can get lucky on a short-term trade or something like that, but it's all about, you know, these longer moves where you can sort of see around the corner, and you're more accurate on like I bought here at $10, it's at 40. Damn, it's pretty high already. Let me take some, like, you've locked in money already, and that's fine. And then when it comes lower, you can get back in. Sort of like when you're buying a house, you make all your money when you buy the house. Same sort of thing with crypto. But, you know, the more time you have, the more time you can actually do a correct move where, you know, if I buy today, then sell tomorrow, like anything could happen.
Yeah.
There's no fundamentals. Even the charts really don't help you too much, even though people are trading them like crazy. People usually, when they're day trading, they're using leverage, and then exchanges trade against you. So especially if you start getting kind of larger account, they see enough of you guys at a certain level, they'll crash a coin just to take your money. So man, don't day trade.
Yeah. You got to know what you're doing, man. So, guys,
go watch Myron.
live on the debrief right now. Go check it out, MyronGainsX.com. MyronGainsX.com. MyronGainsX on Rumble, Kick, YouTube, etc. We're going to cover 9/11 in the news. Charlie Miguel will be here on Money Monday next week. Going to have Woman Propaganda. We'll also give you guys 3 after hours.
Yes.
Sorry for that. Chris is a retard. And, we'll fix it next week, guys. So, love y'all. See you guys on Monday with Charlie Miguel. Peace.